Is going on YouTube? This is your boy like one half of Endure, and it's been a while. Been a while. I've done one of these. This is just random talks. Just talk about majority anything regard. Just chit chatting about stuff happening mostly in gaming this time. Since I've been busy this week and gonna be busy next week as well too. A lot of stuff. So just checking, doing a lot of clicking stuff here. Give me a second and just tune out some stuff and so have some conversation. All right, yeah. Sorry about that. So just doing some random talks, talking about stuff from all over and what's going on. Let's see. What? Yeah, if you're listening, Red, you should the same place I put the ask the question. The link should be there. So, but anyway, like I said, just talking about some news, some stuff. Some bewildering of gamers as usual, which is always fascinating me. What's going on, Tyranny 3? So, hey, some news and the usual craziness happening in the YouTube community as usual, but it is what it is.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Raphael?
Dude, I'm just playing the ARMS Party Crash event right now.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Right now it's Midman versus Helix, and I'm on Team Midman.
Well, at least you're playing the game. That's good. That's all it is. As long as you keep playing the game and having fun. What's going on, Red?
How's it going?
Long week. Next long week coming forward. But other than that, hey, we all alive and everything. I basically, my girl was not doing that great, so I went over to help her out. And she's basically, I know she's asleep now, so that's why I said I came back home and just say, you know what? Before I finish up some paperwork, I said, why not? I did a random talk in like ages. Yeah, so I was like, let me just do. I said, I have about an hour or so before I finish up the rest of these paperwork. I said, you know what? Let me just take a break. Let me take my eyes away from the computer screen per se of just looking at numbers and whatever and writing stuff because you need a break.
That's good. That's good. I've been. I was consumed by playing like JRPGs for the last few months because I got through with Xenoblade and then I started it on Ni no Kuni 2.
Okay.
And then I beat Ni no Kuni 2 and I was like, okay, where can I go from here?
I basically just break through. I just basically break through Xenoblade 2. What I mean by that, I mean like for a while I had a gaming block.
Mm-hmm.
I had a gaming block like. I got to a point when I was at level 60 and I couldn't find the right people to level up with. It was like people lower than me, and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I don't want to beat the game yet because I still want to get some blades or whatever. But then after I just recently found it like last Wednesday. But okay, if I go here, there's level 60s, which is basically Mordain on the upper right side where all the soldiers are. And
right.
I level up there. Then I went back to Uriah where they have the lizard people. You go into that cave, there are a lot of level 70s in there. And I was like, okay, I figure out where to go. So last person I just beat was that dang big old monkey that was walking around on
him. Like that's the one good thing about that game is that you get to a certain point where you just like, okay, I'm powerful enough. I'm getting revenge on all you people. There's parts of that game where you're like, I'm just trying to kill like 12 of these enemies right here, especially on that first continent you go to. where that monkey's just running around, and that dude will sneak up on you. It's like, no.
Well, I gotta say, it's a great that how the monkey right there. That's a great nod to Xenoblade Chronicles X, because that's what happened when you walked out of New LA. You saw a monkey. He was a level 80.
Yeah, just running around, and the thing is like, I mean, that's one of the really great things about that game is that once you get to that point and you get powerful enough where you can take on the super bosses, it's like, you know, and then you go on your revenge tour, and then it's like, well, I beat all of them. The max level's 99. I can't go any higher, but I killed all of them. I mean,
I'll say this: I saw your video on I don't know if you did beat him. If you did, that's you. No, my hat is off to you.
That 130 dude, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I beat him. Yeah.
Oh, good. I didn't. Because
I
got tricked. I had Zenobia, and I was playing her. You know, I was just saying, okay, it was basically I did her Blade Quest, but I sent her out. I'm like, why is she not coming back? It's been like it's been more than a day or something. Like, why the hell she's not coming back? This don't take no these hours. I'm like, what's going on? So I said, okay, let me go. I went by the Argenta by mistake, and then she did the cutscene. I was like, okay, all right, and then I did everything that they said supposed to do. And I was level 50 when this happened. So
yeah, I was like
level 50. So I'm like, okay, let me. Okay, I break this seal. I've been all over the place. Then I break the seals at the thing. Next thing I know, is like the thing started moving. I saw that. Then of course the level popped up above the head. One thing, I'm like, what the freak?
You were probably like, no, F this. And just run away.
Bitch, you crazy? You trying to get me killed? Hell no. I ran out of there like crazy. It's like, holy crap.
You know. And I also like the new game plus where you can have your Chrono Trigger experience and just go railroad all those enemies that before you were like there's a certain side quest in the game where you have to like find these researchers, and it's like you fight this T-Rex thing, and it's like like the first time you play through the game, it's like you're too low level to face that boss. You have to feed it the poison. Yeah. But now, New Game Plus, I'm just doing stuff. I'm like, I don't care. Come on, then. And I know people are like, well, you can lower your level and get. I'm like, no, this is for revenge. I'm not lowering my level. It took too long to get level 99. You know?
Yeah, I got you. Well, I ain't got there yet. I'm at level, like I said, like from now that I broke through the block, I went from 60 to 60, like I'm at like 78 right now, like in 2 days, just because I keep on fighting higher and higher. People are like, oh, it felt good to challenge myself. That it's a challenge. It needs I need to have that challenge to make me think I'm moving forward.
You know, I like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It really reminds me a lot. It feels like a modern interpretation, almost of Chrono Trigger, in a lot of ways to me, but. And I know this is going to be really unpopular with a lot of people, but I really like the combat of X a little bit better.
I
had the mechs.
Yeah, I got you.
And you could like aim for individual body parts of enemies, which added more tactical stuff to how you fought enemies. You know.
Well, like I said, I just yesterday I just finished off Mithra's affinity chart.
Yep.
So again, that last one where you could get instant recharge, I was like, oh hell yeah! That's basically why I be killing these bigger monsters, because you get a critical on your blade art, and you get an instant recharge. I'm like, good. Double sword, like I just hacked.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of the things, and I think they fixed this with the little updates they've done. Is that Pyra is kind of useless once you unlock Mithra, but I think they've added her own little things that give her an edge with the little updates they've done, which is good because it's like, I mean, if you have a person in your I hate RPGs that have useless characters, like, you know, kind of like it's like once I get this other character, I don't need you. I mean, I hate that.
And let's not forget Mooney. I hardly use her in any of the battles I go to. Her Mithra's third form.
Well, that's not really Mithra's third form, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I use the third form. I use the third form because it's an instant heal when I'm fighting these big ass monsters.
Initially, it's like she has some really useful abilities, but the thing is like if she's much more useful as a dedicated healer. Is that. But that's just me.
No, okay. For me, I like this. I use this. I use the third form a lot because when I'm fighting, I use it when I'm fighting the higher end monsters, not the regular ones. It's an instant heal because once you activate it, Rex heals up all the way. That's one.
Oh yeah. I mean
that's one. Two, I like that she is the Blade Master, basically the Blade Master mode, where you could choose the path. So I could do a blade combo, so I could get them to get the orb around them, so then I could do the chain attack. It's easy with her. That's a really cool thing, and I like that form. It's really good for especially like later on for the higher enemies for completing blade chains, right? Elemental orb chains, stuff like that. Yeah, that's because once you do that, and then you start the chain attack. I got like 4 orbs. I like, okay, I got, because that's what my whole point is, to get about as much orbs as I can, so I can burst them and keep the chain going. And that's my own personal challenge. I'm trying to get. Maybe you've done it, Red, but I've never got that yellow bar all the way across up top.
I have about 3 times.
I have not yet.
It depends on how high a level you are and like how much HP the enemy has. But basically, like at lower levels, you can do it with 4, like 4 to 6. But I think the max you can have is 8. And that's really like the only way you can really pull that off is if you have a team that has a diverse enough set of blades, or you have that third form, or as I call it, the inferior form.
Which you have that, or you have all. Yeah, that's what that it helps with her with that, and also if you're gonna do that, you have to have a team that has a good. Basically, you serve your team to be a lot of ether, so they could get the blade art started quick, so they could, because you can't activate it until they get to that form, and then you press the button. But for me, I like it. Like I said, for me, I got a part, and it's happened. I think this happened to everybody once in a while. Like you like the game, then you get to a spot where you're like, it blocks you, and you go to another game just to watch your And then I was like, okay. Then I wasn't forgetting with Kelly Card again. I'm like, bam, I'm backing in again. I'm good. I'm happy. So yeah.
The part for me in the game that got to that point was when you get to. For me, was when I got to. Like when you get to the world tree, and it's like you gotta go up the world tree, and it's like, okay, that's the part for me though where I was kind of like, okay, I need to take a break, and I played something else, which for me was Skyrim. I know it's not a good game, but damn it, I've put 300 hours into that game. So
no, I got you. Well,
and I still have yet to face Malos, the final boss in my game, because I'm still busy trying to get as many blades as possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. No, I'm at 9 right now. I'm at chapter 9, and I'm just been. I mean, since 8, I've been creeping. I ain't been like going super fast. I've just been creeping along.
All I'll say is this: thank God for New Game Plus, and you can carry over your blades. So it's not like you're like, oh shit, all my work. I mean, that's why the game really for me feels a lot like Chrono Trigger, where it's like, okay, except for like story specific blades, you can basically carry over your blades with their affinities and unlocks and all that stuff. So it's like, okay, I like this. This is cool.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I might do it. I think I'll do a New Game Plus later on, but like I said, right now I'm just trying to enjoy the game, and like you said, Ray, like being all of the bigger monsters and say, okay, like right now, I literally went to the bigger monkey that's on top of the in Gormat, whatever Gonzalez, the impregnable, whatever.
Yeah, that dude who just sits there. That big,
he sleeps there. Yeah. He beat my ass. He whooped my ass. I got cocky. I was like, I'm a level 78. I beat this guy who was level 89. I'm like,
I'm punching above my weight class at this point.
Yeah. And I went up there and he hit me 2 hits, and I was like, no, he didn't do the 2 hits. He did that move where he just pounded the ground.
Oh yeah, the butt stomp.
The butt stomp. Yeah, and all of us died in one shot. I was like, well, there you go.
Okay. I can't.
I need to live up more.
There are 3 bosses in the game that I just like even when I was at highest levels, I was like, this is just cheap. And it's the Ophion, the that snake thing, like him, because basically you have to you can't use normal things like topple, break an enemy like you can with the other one with him. You just got to keep on hitting them with these ineffectual attacks, and then hope you get enough ether so that you can get a elemental chain going with elemental attacks, and then just pray that you get enough that when you go into your special mode, you can finish him off in one attack. Because if you don't, he'll counter with this attack that just wipes out your party. Even if you're at max level, it will wipe you out. And it's like, okay, so that's how you want to play.
It was. You're right, because I remember when I was doing what was the one I was doing? I was doing Warwick, or whatever, the demon-looking blade.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing his blade quest, and I wasn't at the level I should have been at. But I everything is. It was one of those things where I did everything up, no problem. Fight had no problem until the last part. We had to fight all the 3 white monkeys. I was like. And when that one did that stupid Kamehameha blast, I'm like, shit, he's killing everybody. Damn it. I was like, I can't. So I was like, damn it. So it took me a while to beat it. But yeah, right now, I want to get to the point where when Genbu, when he goes underwater, and those level 90 son of a guns come out, I'm like, all right, bitches. Yeah. All right, I ain't scared of y'all now.
There's a certain time of day and a certain weather condition where these level 90 dudes will, these level 90 dudes will pop up, and those giant squid things that you go to that continent at the end of the world will pop up, but they're like level 90, 100, 103. It's like, come on, man. And I mean, I'm like, at this point, I'm high enough level that it's not a problem. But the first time I saw that, I was like, oh man, I've never seen these high level enemies around here. And I'm like, what the hell is that? A level 93? Jesus Christ,
dude! And that's my point. I was like level 40 when I went to Tantal, right? And I was trying to get around, basically just left the city because I'm trying to get down to the lower level. And those like manta ray looking things that's on the wall.
Yep.
I was fighting those things and the spiders. It was combined. It was mixing with me. I was like, okay. And I lost the fight because another monster came in, and it was like I wasn't ready to hang with 4 monsters. I was like, damn.
Right.
So I died, and then. Next thing you know, I went back on. So it teleported me back to where the last whatever the point they had. Next thing I know, I'm like, wait a minute, those things were 30 just a while ago. How the hell they got up to 85? Whoa, something right here. What the hell?
It's the period of time.
I know now, but like you just said, I know now, but I didn't know then. I was like, what the heck just happened?
Because the first time it happened to me, like I went to Tantal and I was walking. I'm like, yeah, what's in here? Like the open, like not the first time, but like later on, like go from the port. Like I'm gonna walk down here, see if I missed anything. And I'm like, what's with these level 83, 90 enemies around here? Because normally you can steamroll those enemies at that point once you first hit Tantal. That like before you meet the high level enemies, you can just steamroll most of them. But I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, great game.
Well, like I said, I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's been going back and forth between that and but a game I had. Well, basically. I was playing that, then I hit my block, and then I played Xenoblade, not Xenoblade, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, because I needed to beat the first chapter of the game. Called that, they give that DLC for free, and I got my Super Saiyan Blue. I was like, okay, beat that, and then of course they released the last. I got an expansion pack for Fire Emblem Warriors. They released that, and I was like, oh good, and then I gotta say I'm happy for as a Fire Emblem person and. For Fire Emblem person, and I like that what Tecmo Koei has done with Nintendo's products, like Hyrule Warriors.
That's subjective because I've seen a lot of Fire Emblem fans upset about the DLC because there's no Ike or Roy or any of the.
Yeah, that's they said that well again, depending on how people listen to it, they said that a long time ago before the game came out. They're not gonna do that, but whatever. That's them. You're right. They subjective, so I can't argue that.
But I will say that for me, the DLC for the Fire Emblem games was a little gratuitous. that's what I'll say.
Dude, I mean, for $20 again, I'm sorry. For all the maps, I only defeated 4 out of 16 maps. Are you kidding me? And those maps are not easy.
No, not for the first.
Not you. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying in general. It's just it's just like with Hyrule Warriors. Like I like that. That's more than enough for $20.
No, I wasn't talking about the Warrior spin-off games. I mean like the actual like Intelligent Systems Fire Emblem games. The DLC for those like
yeah.
is kind of ridiculous.
I wasn't hinting at you when I was saying that, but yeah, I know you're talking about. Like I have not bought the DLC for Valencia. I've not bought the DLC for the Conquests. Awakening is the only one I've bought the DLC for.
Yeah, and I didn't even get all the DLC for that. I just got the maps that like I was like, this will help me buff my characters a little bit.
That one I didn't get the map. I get the map for all that because it was for me. I was so in love with the game.
Yeah,
I just went along with it. But yeah, after that, like Fates and stuff, I saw what was coming. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, and I was like, their pricing was just like, I'm like, look, okay, I get it. You guys want to make money. But I mean, why don't you guys just do like a package deal? Like, okay, $25 you get everything, or $20 you get everything. Like this individual, because I added it up and I was like, for one of those games, like if you want to get everything, you'd spend $47 on all the TLC. And I'm like, that's more than the game costs at this point. I'm like, damn. But it was. But that's neither here nor there.
No, but for me, I was saying that I got the. My point was gonna say that I got it, and I've not played with Oin that much. I'll leave that one out of it. I've seen his moveset, I didn't. But I got Tharja, and then, of course it was Tharja, Oin. Who was the last person? It was 3. Tharja, Oin, and and Olivia. I was surprised of Olivia. I'm like, okay, she's a dancer in Awakening. What she could do? I was like, holy crap, they give her good moves. I was surprised by that.
Do keep in mind that she also has a sword, and even in Awakening.
No, I know that, but still, what I give the reason I love Fire Emblem Warriors more than Hyrule Warriors is because Hyrule Warriors is just basically flashy. Don't get me wrong, it's flashy and just senseless beating them up. Basically a hack and slash beat them up. That's what Hyrule Warriors is. Not many strategy, not many whatever. Now Fire Emblem Warriors, I love how they put that you have to strategize. You cannot go in this game super blind. You have to get the right weapon, the right it is like a Fire Emblem. And it's a great combination.
There's more strategy involved with it than in typical. Because I mean, I'm one of those people that like I've played a lot of the spin-off Warrior games. Like I have the 2 Fist of the North Star Warrior games and the 2 Dragon Quest Warrior games, and I enjoy those games. But after a while, they get kind of samey.
Boring.
Well, samey. I mean, it becomes very okay. Let me go in here. Let me use the same 4 or 5 combos. From what I played of the Fire Emblem Warriors game, is that like while you do kind of fall into that that rut sometimes where you're like, okay, I know these 4 or 5 combos with this character, but there's also the aspect that okay, if this character is, let's say, one of your airborne characters, right? Or a character who's the weapon triangle comes in. So you might be, if you're one of those characters, oh, this character rides a Pegasus. Oh, I'm kicking ass. Oh shit, a whole bunch of archers just appeared around me. Oh, I'm fucked if I don't switch out for another character. So the weapon triangle adds some depth to it. But
excuse me, not only the weapons triangle.
So it becomes meaningless as your units become over leveled.
Yeah, but I'll say this: even if you overlevel, like when you playing the Historia maps, that's the maps I'm talking about. I beat the game when it first came out, but the Historia maps, when you're playing the Historia maps, you get surprised by some higher levels, of course. But I do like this. I do like that when you play the main level of the game, the story mode. There are 2 maps where you gotta put serious strategy in. The one where you have to beat Xander and Ryoma. You cannot let once you beat one side of the map, you got to beat the other fort quickly, or the game's over. You got to split your team. They force you to split your team. You can't
so
just
you're forced to actually have characters that are both high level and play well together.
Yeah, you got to split your team, because if you beat one side, because basically is the Hoshina versus the Noir, of course. And then if you beat the fort on the Hoshina side, then the Noir wins, gets more powerful. And if you don't get to because what I was doing when I first literally started the game, and I was playing this, I was thinking kind of like I understand the strategy with the weapons triangle, like you were saying, and all that stuff. But I was thinking, okay, I'll play this game. Okay, it's all right. I'm gonna go over here, take care of this fort. Go over here, take care of this fort. And I lost about 3 times. I'm like, wow, I keep on. I mean, the first time I was like, wow, I lost. The second time I was like, damn, I gotta be over there that quick. So of course, I went back and I said, okay, I'm gonna send this person, this side, this person, this side, combine it and whatever. And set it up I set it up to be that as soon as I beat one side, one fort, switch over to the other side and beat that fort exactly that time to keep them even, because you don't want them, because once one side takes enough time, they're gonna kill the other. The map's gonna end. So I like that one, and I like the one where you have to invade the what do you call it? I don't know, the palace. You go from the outside into the palace, and you have to defeat certain. And just like you said, Red, is what happened to me. Camilla was one of my strong weapons. She's not right now, but she was at the time. So I had Camilla, and she's a wraith rider. So I was using her and everything, and one of my regular characters. And what happened is, if you're charging against a castle, they have the different gates where they could open up and let people out that you didn't know, because it's like what do you call it, what do they call it, the fog of war. That you don't know what's gonna come up next. So I was like, okay. Next thing you know, she was surrounded by, like you just said, archers out of nowhere, because I beat this fort. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go forward. And I'm like, son of a gun, dang it, and took her out, like, of course, in 2 shots. I was like, yep. Dang it. So I like that. That's what I like about this game. It does that very, very well. And I was playing. There's a map that I was getting my butt handed to me with, and I put in an element of like, okay, Xander is kicking my butt. They're doing the shadows. I hate the shadows in this game, because the shadows are like superpower, which is weird, but it is. And I was like, okay, I have Oboro, and she's a lance person. I'm like, okay, Oboro, lance person. Okay, I'm cool with this. All right, let's get it straight on. And then she's good, strong against mounted and sword people, but I was still not gaining problems. So I said, okay, let me put the mounted slayer on her weapon, give it to her. And then when I sent her out there, and I sent Thalja to take care of Veneer and everything, I was like, Voltaire, and I was like, what's? And then I sent her out there. Within like 4 seconds, she's like, all right, next challenge. I'm like, whoa, you beat him that quick? You didn't beat him that quick in the first time. The first couple of times I lost. I'm like, that's the strategy about the game I like. So I got to that point, and then I beat a couple maps. Like I said, I'm up to 4 maps. I got 2 that's almost beaten. So now I'll make it 6. But I got to that point. I said, okay, let me go back into Xenoblade. Get back in there, and I was like, all right, I'm back in Xenoblade again. So I like the like seeing that. It's weird, because one of the things I've seen again, seen on the YouTube, and YouTube has a lot of people who just follow trends and do stuff like everybody's arguing about the ports and stuff I'm like that. I'm like, I've seen it. If you look at my game library, I have 1 port, which is Mario Kart. But other than that, every one game I have is so different. None of them is the same. And they're all most of them is first party, and most of them is not even it's different genres. So unless you want the same kind of games, which is kind of weird, but again, people say this, so I can't argue a person's preference. But you can't say that they're not different variety of games on the Switch, because they is. Hell.
Well, I mean, the Switch has obviously been supported much better thus far than the Wii U was. So,
Well, it has its game. But I'm just saying that, like I'm gonna do a video, of course, because Nintendo's gonna release their financial reports April 26th. for the whole year. And I know for sure it's gonna be some big old numbers up in that joint.
They made lots and lots of money. I think we can all agree.
I know. I'm going to break it down. I'll break it down. But my point is, yes, I'm gonna do that stuff. But also, I'm gonna also bring up the stuff they did for this whole year, the whole year of the first year that also was, crazy. That some of the stuff that no other console or company has ever did. So I'm gonna do a video about that in that regard. But again, I have bought many different types of games. I bought some indie games that I was surprised by it and enjoyed the hell out of them, of course. So like you said, that horrible movie that became a game. What was it again?
The Mummy
Remastered.
The Mummy Demastered, yeah.
Yeah, the Mummy Demastered and Implosion. I just beat that game as well too. Have to say, I was surprised by the ending. One of those games that is an indie game, and I had a surprise to ending. I was like, "Holy crap!" That's like, I think that's the third game I would say, other than no, and I'm including Chrono Trigger in this. That's about the third or fourth game in my life that had an ending that I did not see coming. It surprised me. I was like, "Wow, okay, did not see that coming."
There's some. I mean, the Switch is a really fun. Is a really fun console, and also not just the Switch. This year, there's some really good games coming out this year on anything. Like, you've got Guacamelee 2 coming out. Yep. You've got Dragon Quest 11 coming out. Mm-hmm. You've got. I mean, basically, no matter what you want, your itch is gonna get scratched. There's the Insomniac Spider-Man game. I haven't played it.
It's coming out later. They got deleted for later this year.
But I mean, basically, there's no excuse for someone saying I have nothing. I have no good games to play on any system you own. If you say that, it's your fault. Okay.
Yeah. No, I got that. So one of the things that people have been talking about, which is, I'm gonna just tap on it for a quick second. I'm gonna move on because it's stupid.
And that
is. People are making a big uproar about Nintendo is
Oh, you mean how Nintendo's making a new system?
Yeah, they've been doing that.
That's how they do. Yeah, that's how they do business.
I said Super Nintendo, they've been doing that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not surprised. It's not
Super Nintendo. Hell, the Nintendo.
Well, they wanted that to go a little longer, but when the competition came with Genesis and stuff, they pushed a little bit further.
They were like, we gotta get this new shit out of here. And ever since then, that's just how they do.
Been doing business, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably not like the next day, but probably within the first 3 to 6 months, and they get feedback from consumers. They're probably like, okay. And the people who made it, okay, here's where we failed. Here's where we may have succeeded. Where do we want to keep moving forward? What do we need to change? I mean, that's just business 101. As soon as you get a big project out, you get feedback, and you take that feedback, you break down what went right, what went wrong, what you can do better, and you start the next thing. That's tech.
The thing is, back in 2013 or 2014, when Nintendo announced that they're working on a new system, everyone jumped in the bandwagon that the Wii U was dead. But now, when Nintendo announced that they're making a new system during the Switch's time, everyone now realizes that this is completely normal for Nintendo to create a new system.
Well, some do and some don't. Some people making a big thing about this new stuff. I'm like, it's not to me. I don't see nothing. Like Red said, and we know this. They've been doing this since the Super Nintendo. So I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked. Right now it's idea time. Then about a year and a half from now, they're gonna start bringing the concepts together and figure out what parts you could get and what stuff. And then 2 years from now, they're gonna start working on the prototype. That's just how they do it.
And that's tech. I mean, any tech company, as soon as they put out one product, they're already starting to work on the next one. Like, that's just because tech changes so quickly. You can't just be like, you can't be like some other companies that release a product and like, well, it's out there, okay, and just kind of rest on your laurels. So I don't,
Yeah, so that to me is a non-story. I mean, a lot of people are making a big. So I see some people making the stuff about it. I saw Andre's video about it too. It's like, it's like I don't even. It's not worth to make a video because it's something that always happens. So sorry,
that's business 101. It's not news. It's non-news.
It's not news, but when you have sometime when people look at it as a slow news week or something, as they said, they're gonna be like, okay, well, it is what it is.
Oh, so there's someone wants to be invited right now.
No, I saw it. I mean, like I said, it's a random cast. We saw that how it happened. But right. Other than that, though, it's like I said, I haven't seen nothing crazy with that. It's like I said, no, it's just like I said, people you're making big news out of stuff I don't get, but move on. And then I'm gonna give shout outs to Eric Maverick about the whole thing with the doc stuff that he posted. I read the FTC article and also what FTC was saying about the warranty thing. It really wasn't jabbed towards Nintendo. It wasn't. That's why I did the video Saturday. It was mostly for people. More Sony's part of it, because they have it on their label, but
or Apple.
Yeah,
or Apple.
I'm gonna say it's basically if look. Nintendo, you can't sue Nintendo for that because they specifically tell you use licensed product.
Yeah,
it's on their box, it's on their manual, it's there.
I mean, basically, it's mostly like Apple recently tried to sue some guy from Norway or I think it was Norway, where this guy basically runs a repair shop and he repairs iPhones. Now, I mean, here's the thing. All this shit is off the shelf. Even Apple stuff is off the shelf. It's not proprietary. But they want to go through them where they're going to do a 200 to 300% markup.
Well, the thing about Apple software or hardware is that they use a lot of the same stuff that everybody else is using. Like, I think they buy their screens from Samsung.
Well, they tried to sue this guy.
Everybody else uses.
They tried to sue this guy. He fought him and won. And I'm like, good. Because, here's the thing. Okay, look, no one wants to get, screwed over for their product. You make a product, you want to make money. But just like you want to make your money, you need to respect other people's dollar and not, disrespect their buying power. And that's basically what Apple does. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. I mean, it is what it is.
But the thing that FTC was hitting that was blaring and what that Sony used and like Apple, a lot of people use is like, I always thought it was just kind of crazy. If you alter the warranty sticker in any shape or form, you void the warranty. That's bull crap.
Yeah, that is, because what if? I mean, here's the thing. Even if someone has to fucking repair the shit at a licensed place that's from the people, they're gonna have to move the damn sticker if it's behind there. So they voided the warranty. That's like that. That's like when you buy a bed and they have that sticker. If you remove this.
Yeah, you I remember that back in the 90s.
From the FBI. Yeah. I've never had the FBI come to my house after I tore that tag.
I always wonder why they did that, but yeah, you're right about that part. But yeah, that was crazy that you avoided warranty because of that. So if you basically if it got scratched or your kids playing around with it, messed with it, you didn't know, like all that. No, if I could prove to you a shout out that I didn't do nothing wrong, and I have a receipt, if it's a year warranty that I bought it within the year, you should award it. I'm sorry, that was a crazy thing that they said there. That's what it was because again, they specifically told you, Nintendo specifically told you use Nintendo licensed products. That you can't. How are you going to sue somebody for saying exactly that in the manual you should read? I know a lot of people don't read the manuals. That's why I made that joke with Triple M with the video a while back. I'm sorry.
A lot of people don't read.
Well, that's true too.
Watching
that is true too.
Watching that video had me realize I should read that article I previously shared about how intelligent people are afraid of the truth, and it wasn't a pleasant read because there was a lot of gibbering.
Well, I'm just saying that it's on because it's funny because when Nintendo releases stuff on Twitter, I went and I don't have a Twitter account. I went to somebody else. I see the Twitter account, and I was like, and I'm seeing people. One guy was like, "Well, there's no manual in the Switch box." I'm like, "Yes, there is."
Not unless you bought a Switch that fell off the back of the truck.
but there is one. But he's like, I didn't see no book. The person said, "Well, it's a booklet, like a pamphlet, but it has all the stuff on it."
Isn't it illegal to come out not come out? Wouldn't it be illegal to not include a user manual in your
well, you have to have a user manual, and there's a lot of products that have I bought stuff that has you have to do the QR code, or you go to the website and you could download the manual. There's ways to go around it.
If you're selling a product, it's illegal if you're selling a product that's new. However, if you're selling something used, you're buying it as is. So if there's not a manual, you just ain't got a manual. I mean, that's just, I mean, there's an old saying when you buy things used, caveat emptor, which means let the buyer beware.
Yeah.
So now I was just like, my point is, I was looking at the retweets or whatever, but I was like, well, people are that stupid. As I always say, people are stupid individuals. I'm like, dude, it's there. It is there.
And here's the thing. Look, I understand that some of Nintendo's peripherals are kind of expensive, and gaming is an expensive hobby. But I mean, look, if you just wait for another, few months, there'll be cheaper alternatives that are licensed coming out as time goes on. So,
okay. Let's go. But I mean, you're right. Don't get me wrong. I didn't mean to cut you off like that. But it's like we have many other companies of doing different products that does the same thing. That will be a problem.
Yeah.
Because you know what? If you put in an aftermarket part in your car and you just bought a car, you void your warranty.
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, I'm simply saying that I understand that some people, not everyone, it would be great if everyone had massive amounts of disposable income, but people don't. And I understand that.
But, it's like you can
wait. Go ahead. It's very simple. You wait. I mean, here's the thing. Look, the Switch is still a relatively new system. Yes, I know it's a year plus out at this point, but it's still a relatively new system. As time goes on, things are going to come out that are cheaper and more economical. So just wait. I mean, shit. We're gamers. We're used to waiting. Gamers have waited for shit. People waited almost 15 damn years for Final Fantasy 15. So, and people are waiting almost 12 years for Kingdom Hearts 3. So look, it's not going to be that long for you to get your cheap docks and cheap controllers and cheap, whatever,
And us Nintendo fans are waiting for what? More than a decade for a new F-Zero title?
Yeah, so I mean, just have patience. I mean, it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. Like I know a lot of people, they wanted to get the battery for their Wii U, like the expanded battery for the Wii U dock. I never had that problem because I just keep my Wii U the gamepad just plugged in all the time. It's like I have problems with the battery.
Doesn't that decrease the battery's lifespan if you leave it charged?
Could be, but I haven't noticed. I haven't had like, oh my god, my battery's getting low. I'm like, no, that's okay.
It depends on the type of battery that the manufacturer uses. Some batteries last a lot longer than others.
Yeah, it is, because I'm gonna tell you right now, like for me, that I did got the expansion battery. As I got a video about, that's one of my first few videos on my channel about that. I got that, and like I said, the reason I got it because as if anybody follow my channel, even before the Switch was a thing, I was traveling around the world using my Wii U gamepad as a game and playing a portable Switch before even the Switch was coming out. So I'm different in that regard. But yeah, I mean, my point of saying what I was explaining of that is this, like, because I was the video I did from Nintendo Prime, I was like, he was saying some of the most outrageous stuff in that damn video. That's why me and Triple had to take that on. I was like,
who said
Nintendo
this?
Prime?
Oh God,
Nathaniel, Nintendo Prime. So I was like, was like, this is some crazy stuff. I'm like, it is not Nintendo. It's not a first party to tell you what their technical specs is for you to go in there. Is if you want to make money off of my stuff, it's up to you. You want to come and you ask for it, or you basically break it down yourself and figure it out. But I am not obliged. I am not obliged to give. Like if Red Fox wants to make a gaming machine for my arcade, or I'm doing the exact same for him, and he has certain specs, it's up to me to go ask him or say, hey, what you want me to do? It's not him to tell me, hey, come like this again. Like it's not that. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Toyota's not gonna tell Mo4 Body Parts that, hey, this is what you guys need to have to put this stuff on the car, because Toyota wants to sell their parts.
Exactly.
Sorry.
And here's the thing: Nintendo wants to get. They want look. If you're gonna get like the generic version of the stuff, just wait until shit's more tested, and then you'll have a consumer. Because here's the thing: look, like I said, not everyone has disposable income, and they don't want to spend $40 on something. It's kind of like back in the day when the GameCube controllers were coming out. Like you could spend $40 on Nintendo's brand, or you could get the off-market brand that was like 30 or 20.
And I'm not gonna lie with you. I bought about 2 Mad Cats, and I didn't like them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, look.
But listen, I don't blame. But I'm not blaming Nintendo that I bought Mad Cats' own version of their GameCube controller. I'm like that. I blame myself. Like I should have waited. I should have tested this out more. Whatever. Nah, I just don't feel like I should have bought that. So I mean, there's some cases where you could use off brands where if you think about it, you have to do the research, because again, I've got my Switch. In that same video, I have an Asus phone that uses the same amount of voltage and everything as the Switch's thing, and I've never had no problem with it. So you can do it, but again, you got to do your research, and that's all it is. And again, it's not their fault that something third party is breaking down. It's the third party who's not going up to the standard.
They made a shitty product. I mean, it's kind of like this. My old laptop, like the battery, the AC cable died. like, you know, the battery pack that goes.
That always happens. And laptop cords. For me, it's the cords. They always get weird.
Not the battery. The thing. The battery brick. The power brick. The power brick. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I went and bought a new one, and like I was cheap because I should have gone with something that was higher quality, but I went for the cheapest one I could get, something from China. It was a knockoff, and the thing lasted about a month, and then it died. So I had to just spring for, you know, put the money out to get the money, to get quality. Now I never bought that brand again, and I got something that was better. But I mean, the thing is like, you know, it's like you pay the cost to be the boss. I hate to say, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like me. Like like I said, look, I'm not gonna. When I had my PlayStation 2, I didn't. Same thing too. I bought a third party controller, same thing too, and it was not as good as the original PlayStation 2 gamepad. I was like, okay, I gotta stop doing this. Basically, between the GameCube and that, I said I gotta stop doing third. The only one, and I give it this. The only one, I wonder what the name of the company is. It ain't Sega, but I bought a fighting pad for my Dreamcast, and it still works to this day, and it's still good. It's the only one.
But that was probably good quality.
Yeah, that's the only one. Every third party controller I've bought, have not been good to me. And I like you said, I stick with I learned my lesson back in the 6th generation. I said, you know what? I'm sticking with what the company says. If I bought the Microsoft thing, I got an Xbox controller, but I have an Xbox controller for my PC. But I bought the Xbox controller for the PC, and it has no problems with it.
And this is why I only buy first party accessories.
Yeah, I mean, nobody say you can't buy third party, but just know that they're not the ones who have the. It's like
you're taking a chance. You're pulling, you know.
It's just like if you go to a bakery, you know Mrs. Good's apple pie is the bomb. You know it's the bomb, but you know there's somebody down the street that might have it, but it's not the same as Miss. You know, I said, well, this is Mr. Pie ripoff. Like, it's not the same. You got buyers beware.
Well, I mean, even a better example of that is the generic brand. It's like Coke. There is no Coca-Cola that tastes like Coca-Cola. Right, you can go with RC, you can go with Pepsi. Well, Pepsi's like the opposing brand. You can go with your local brand where you live, but nothing tastes like Coke. Right? It's I mean, basically. So if you take, I mean, you're like, well, I'm gonna. Let's say you're having a party with adults and they're having rum and cokes, and you're going to cheap out and not get Coke. You're going to get, you know.
Which is, you know what? Which is, you're right. And you know what's funny? I had a conversation with somebody about this thing. It's just like how Nintendo basically made Sony. That's how Coke made Pepsi.
Well, yeah.
If you want to, you go on the history of like Coke basically made Pepsi because they didn't want some of the formulas for the drinks, and Pepsi like, all right, we'll do it our damn self, and well, you know, Pepsi Cola became what it is. I'm like, damn, you made your own rifle. Huh.
They are the second biggest.
Yeah, they are
second biggest. Not the first, but they are. They're
Coke is number one. Yeah, of course. Yeah. But yeah, but I was it's just one of those weird things where you made your own rival. And again, who am I to say it's bad or good? Because again, there's some Pepsi product that I do like, and there's some. I don't drink a lot of sodas nowadays, but when I was young, I was. Except for when I'm out of the country. When I go out of the country, like when I go back home, we make our own. Basically, they give us a formula down there, and we have our own bottling company, but we make it with sugarcane.
Well, and, yeah. I will tell anyone this: the best Coke you can get is Coke from Mexico or another foreign country, because they actually make it with less additives, no high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, it is. There's a big difference. It's a big taste. It tastes differently,
and it's really good for rum and Coke. Oh, it's really good in rum and Coke.
I still won't drink it because I'm not.
Well, you know, whatever. I mean, look, here's the thing. Okay, if you're everything in moderation, if you drink like a 6-pack of Cokes every week, there's something wrong. But if once in a while, 2 or 3 months, everything is rum and Coke, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, everything is moderation, because again, you could drink a lot of water and then you could desaltize your body and die.
Yeah,
so, even water, which is something that you're supposed to basically drink, can kill you. So you don't.
Alex, you have anything to say? You've been mighty quiet.
Yeah, sorry, this is my first time doing something like this. So,
well, yeah, just blend in, because this is a random. This is not this. I call this random talks, where we just talk about. No, mostly stick to gaming, but we talk about anything. As you just said, we just talk about Coke, but we just I do this. Well, I used to do this a lot, but this year is a busy year for me. But mostly, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No. It's a busy. I run my own company and do a lot of stuff. So I got a lot of stuff on my hands. So my point was saying that with random talks, we just you got to jump in if you have something to say. We talk about gaming. We talk about all kind of stuff. Gaming, Nintendo 64. I mean, Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. We just whatever. Well, so we jump in and have what it is.
I have something to bring up, and it's actually about you, Alex. Something you just wrote. I read through it while we were talking. Bernie Stolar kind of ruined Sega.
Oh, speaking of that,
he started the downward spiral.
Speaking of Sega,
what's wrong about the RPGs? Because any RPG that's not on a Nintendo system tends to sell less.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
Because some of the highest selling RPGs of the 90s were on PC. And that was definitely not a Nintendo system. So
we have a couple RPGs that so good at Sega, the Dreamcast.
But I think someone was actually referring to JRPGs.
Yeah, even that, because Skies Arcade is so well on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And then you got Dragon Quest, of course, it went straight to PlayStation, and it's selling well.
The problem with Sega, in my opinion, was just a lot of really bad executive decisions that were made, and they kind of lost touch with their core market.
Yeah.
Over time. I don't like Peter Moore. I call him the devil, because basically when companies are going downhill, he's like the dude that they blow up the building and the guy walks out without a scratch on him. He just brushes himself off a little bit. But Peter Moore said something, and I don't think he was lying, and I totally believe what he says. He said, look, we went and we had marketing tests with various people, and we videotaped it. We showed the videotape that we talked to people in the age group that we wanted. And like people at Yu Suzuki and all these people, Yuji Naka, They looked at us and said we were lying, called me a liar to my face. And I don't think he's lying about it because it's like the way he describes it. I don't think he's lying. Because Sega, you could see how Sega went, how they were in the when they first started with the Sega Genesis and how they were as time went on. They were so out of touch with their core consumer base and how they were doing stuff. I was like, yeah, they just the head doesn't know what the body's doing.
Well, the thing about the Dreamcast is I saw did you know Dreamcast, and it just seemed like it had a lot of problems getting out the door. It was like a stumbling giant, just didn't know what it was doing with itself. Somehow it remembered as one of the greatest consoles of all time, but it's just.
Well, I mean, it didn't come out the gate with like a really strong starting library, which kind of hurt it.
That did, but I mean, like I said, it was on the heels of
the Saturn. Yeah,
it was on the heels of the Saturn 1 and 2. PlayStation came in and everybody wanted a DVD player.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sega
between those two. Let me say this: between having a bad console before that, a lot of people didn't really, went for, and having something that people wanted, something new, and also has a gimmick that people wanted. I personally didn't care for it, but other people did. They wanted that DVD player and a gaming console together. They wanted that. So,
Saturn was a good console. I think just Sega.
I have never said
it. Yeah, the Saturn. You're absolutely right.
The U.S. launch.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Saturn was a good console, but the thing is, like, some of the best games for the Saturn never came to America.
Well, some did, but some came. Some did, but some was silent launches. One, and some also came at a later stage of the Saturn. Just like how some come, because again, when I was playing, I told Triple M this. I was telling them how the people around where I was growing up, how we had different consoles, and for me, there was no console war with us because everybody had a console. We go to each other's house and play the games. My friend bought a Saturn. We played our Daytona USA, our baseball, our Sega Rally, and stuff like that. But later on, it didn't. It came later on, like the Street Fighter Alpha. Oh man, the arcade port, that was awesome on Saturn. That was straight up nice, fluid, no problems. Of course, the X-Men game as well too. Like. That's where it started. That's where I saw a glimpse of. I could see what happened, and basically, to be honest, if you look at my Dreamcast library, 90% of the games are fighting games because I just sat down, gave me the glimpse of it. I bought the Dreamcast, and I've got, like I said, Marvel's. I mean, 90% of my games is fighting games on the Dreamcast.
But you know what? I think that Sega also cannibalized itself because basically they're like, yeah, we're going to bring the arcade experience to home. But here's the problem. Arcade games are way more shallow than anything you'll ever get on the console because arcade games are designed to be played in short bursts and then you go do something else. Like, they're designed to be really hard. You play it for 2 or 3 minutes and they get your money and you move on.
But to play fighting games.
Yeah. But the thing about it too, also, the Saturn didn't help itself that it was very hard to develop because it was a rush processor to just get out there. And that made it difficult as well too, because the dev kits for that game came out late. For that system came out like a couple months before the system release, which is not helping nothing.
Same can be said with shooters and strategy games like StarCraft. They're meant to be played in short bursts of time.
Well,
unless you hook on it.
Not a strategy game. Strategy games require you to actually have a grasp of tactics. They're not like. You can play StarCraft like slowly, but you have to have a good grasp of what's going on around you.
I think I know what he's saying. Like in some games, like I play a lot of strategy games. I'll say this, and I think he's like sometimes you could do one battle because one battle is long enough.
Right,
you're good, or if you get 2 good battles, but you're not gonna play the whole game because those games gonna drain you.
I would say like Fire Emblem, especially the modern takes on Fire Emblem, where it's like, okay, I've basically gotten through a third of this fight. It's taken me like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna close the thing and do a quick save, go do something else.
2 or 3 minutes, yeah. And I'm joking with you, Red. I know I'm joking with you.
More story driven. So
I'm talking about like there's some times where you play like the old school Fire Emblem. You play that map for about 15-20 minutes.
Yeah. And I remember in the Game Boy Advance when they finally gave you the ability to have that little like temporary save before battle, and it's like, damn, my Pegasus Knight died. Okay, let me restart the fight, see what I can do.
Yep.
Damn, my Wyvern Knight died. Jesus, let me see if I put it like this. You know? But yeah, I can see. I mean, they're just certain and I'm saying this as someone who like has a barcade. Like most of those games, I'm like, yeah, it would be cool to play this on a home console, but I mean, I'll give you the perfect example. Gauntlet Legends. The best version of Gauntlet Legends is on the N64, even though the N64 is very limited. It's the best version of that game.
Thank you for reminding me that, Red. I was talking to somebody else, and I was telling him how the 64 was with me, and I forgot about it because it became basically because of the 4 ports and all our friends Basically, it was the same conversation when we talk about the Sega Dreamcast. Like I was telling the person, it's like we bought all the time. Somebody had a Nintendo, I had a Genesis, somebody else had a PlayStation. Like we went different, we didn't care. But it was weird that when the 64 came out, that everybody graduated towards the 64 because we were playing all party games: Smash Bros, Mario Kart. But of course, Smash Bros was the dominant one at the end.
The racing games, the kart racers.
The Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh yeah,
Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Races, WCW vs NWO, WrestleMania 2000.
What about the game? What about the game to end all friendships, Mario Party?
We played that a little bit, but we didn't get into that much.
Yeah, I wasn't really, because Mario Party to me back then felt like a mini game collection, and I'm like, I don't want to play a mini game collection. Like the reason I got a video game system is so that I could play other stuff besides a lot of mini games. That's why I didn't like Pokemon Coliseum.
I think we played 4, Raphael, but we were playing more other games. Like I said, Snowboard Kids 1, Snowboard Kids 2, NBA
those
Jam.
Are really good games.
NBA Jam, and then I was like, and then of course when Smash Bros came out, we played Smash. That was it. That was Smash Bros until we graduated from high school. But I forgot about Godly Legends. You remind me. I'm like, I know it was another game that we played a lot of, and Godly Legend was it. We played that game, hell out of that game.
I have that game on 3 systems. I have the Dreamcast version, the PlayStation version. The PlayStation version is the shittiest version of Gauntlet Legends.
I have the Dreamcast.
That game.
I have Dreamcast and 64 version of Gauntlet Legends.
It is terrible. The Dreamcast version's okay, but it's basically just a direct port of the arcade. Mm-hmm. The N64 version adds new stuff. Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah. And if you have the little expansion cart, it looks better and all. It's just great.
That's the same thing with Resident Evil, the N64 port of Resident Evil 2. There was like more content added and
And for me, like for the Dreamcast, like I said, you're right about it was a straight up port, but there's some games that lend itself very well. Like I said, like right now, I was telling Sprite this. When I talked to him a while back. I was like, because we were talking about fighting games, and I said, look, I basically we did a Google chat. It was like not a Google chat like this, but like he commented about the SNK because I was one of the first people. I was telling game idea game, and I was like, well, I said, dude, I ain't gonna bragging, but I was like. The first month when I saw all these SNK games come up, I'm like, man, SNK go for the kitchen sink at this freaking console
because they're making money off of it.
And I was saying that, and I was like, but I was telling, and then I was like, well, I said, Andre, to be specific, you said it, you read it, everybody said, I'm not denying that, but when I was saying it, everybody was talking about Breath of the Wild, everybody was talking about what we're doing Mario Kart. I was saying it because I was just surprised of how many games that was thrown off in the first month of it was SNK.
Well, look, they've been burned with their Neo Geo stuff, Neo Geo X and all that stuff. So now they can just put out their games. And here, I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to get the SNK collection because it's not just a lot of Neo Geo crap. Because I'm telling you right now, I'm tired of Neo Geo stuff. SNK did other stuff besides Neo Geo stuff.
I'm getting it too, but I'll say this. I was saying, like I told him, I commented this right. I said, I bought Mark of the Wolves for the Switch, and I could play it, but it's not as enjoyable as the one on Dreamcast because I could change it. But I know it's on PC too. But
Right.
I got a Dreamcast one when it first came out. It's not enjoyable because I need to change my buttons. I can't change the buttons the way I want, so it's not as enjoyable as I could do the combos like I could do on a Dreamcast. So I played more on a Dreamcast than my Switch.
You know, that's like my favorite. That's my favorite Fatal Fury game. I know it's not really a Fatal Fury game, but that's
the continuum. Yeah,
that's like my favorite is Mark of the Wolves. That's like my favorite because all the characters play different. It's not like well, this guy's kind of like a clone of it. No, every character has their own distinct.
Well, they're clones of people from the Art of Fighting series, but
yeah, but I mean, like normally
they are different. No, they are different because the ninja. I forgot the name. I did a video about this. The Ninja Boy. He plays like Andy Bogart, and also like Mai Shore, Nightmare. I forgot the last. I forgot her name.
When I say clones, I mean how like in normal Fatal Fury games, there's like 2 or 3 characters who like, well, 2 characters that like, well, they kind of play like, but one's the evil version or the alternate. Like, I mean, there's only like 10, 11 characters in Mark of the Wolves, but they all just have distinctly different styles, which I like.
Right. You're right. Even though that dang, I can now forget his name now. What's his son name again? Rock. Even though Rock has divergence of little dividends of Terry's moveset, he combined his father and Terry to make his own style, which is pretty damn cool.
Yeah. So but I mean, overall, basically, I'm happy. Some good stuff coming out. I think everyone's going to be happy with what they have coming out for the system. I tell you, who's not happy though. Nippon Ichi Software America got smacked in the mouth. Smacked in the mouth by Sony. Yeah. Don't you say anything.
Oh, I heard about that. So they were not happy with what those guys were saying.
Well, the thing is that he told the truth.
It goes to show that Sony, which company has more control in the game industry.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
It's not so much that, it's just he told, like, okay, if you look at the traditional Japanese games that used to do really well on Sony platforms, like during the PS1, PS2 era, they aren't doing as well now because Sony doesn't really push those games like they used to during the PS1, PS2
era. It's either they do okay on Steam or they do great on Nintendo stuff.
Yeah, basically. Because the audience has changed. Like Sony used to push for the Japanese audience first and the rest of the world second. And now they're like, okay, the Japanese audience first, Europe second. I mean, no, the US audience first, Europe second, Japanese third, maybe. That's why they're kind of worried about the Switch doing well in Japan. They're like, shit. What?
Well, it makes no difference because they always don't surpass 4 million over there. If it surpassed that, it took Sony about 4 years for that, and they did it in 1 year for Nintendo.
So you know they're losing their. Well, I mean,
you know what killed me too? Is not, and the thing about it killed me is like when people are talking about, and again, I'm one of those persons who don't. If you listening now, Alex, because you look and say you're part of this. I like all consoles, whatever, but it was one of those things that I went to Japan in 2015, and people asked me questions. I'm like, y'all think Sony dominates over here? The Vita does, but that's about it. There's PlayStation 4. It's like if you go through Nippon Airport, or whatever, they got Mario, they got Nintendo stuff more than so. I didn't see no Sony stuff at all when I went to the Japan airport. None at all.
The one thing you don't see there is Xbox.
Well, we know that. Now you're getting warm to us. We take digs too. We ain't gonna lie. We take some digs too.
It's like that Kotaku article where like they showed the launch of the Xbox One in Japan, and there's like this rapper on the ground and no one in line. I'm like, now these people are trolling, but they're right. Like with Microsoft, I'm like, I don't even know why y'all even released that shit in Japan. I really don't. Y'all embarrassing yourselves at this point.
Yeah, but I went, like I said, when I was in Japan, I was like, I saw, like I said, I'll be honest, when I was on the trains, I saw Vitas. Yep. Hell, I saw some Wii U doing what I did. Like I said, I walk over Wii U, put in the, because you have plugs on the train. I had it in the backpack, they plugged it up, and you could play Wii. Yeah, because I did it on the plane. I got a video, like I said, I got a video of it. When I'm flying, when I had my Wii U, I just had it in my backpack. I just plug it up to a plug, and then I just get a gameplay. They're playing my games without no problem because Yeah, because you could back up your saves and your games on a thumb drive, so that's all I plugged up, and I did it, and I whatever, and I saw people doing that in Japan before, and I was like, wow, these people doing that, but I never saw, like, even when I went to like there's a arcade, one of the biggest arcades in there is called Tower Records. Even there, they were promoting more Nintendo than Sony, and that's a video game arcade store. It was, I'm telling you, like, I know people I think people got this. From the outside looking in, they got rose tinted glasses and stuff. And I'm not taking a jab at saying nothing else. I'm just saying that when I was telling people that, people were surprised that I'm telling them, and I'm like, no, dude, that's what it was. I'm not lying to you. Hell, you could go right now and see what Nintendo just released. What is Nintendo Minute? And they show that all the amiibos is in. They have a kiosk, and when you come in, and then you have all the amiibos that ever made. They have a kiosk for that. So like, they brand them. Nintendo brand themselves Japan. That's what they did.
Yeah, and you know, they stayed with their roots. And I know some people, like, I know a lot of people who think they know the industry are like, but you know, Sony's doing well with the Vita. Look, outside of Japan, and even like they're kind of like Sony's kind of doing a disservice to people by really continuing to like put stuff on the Vita in Japan, because it's like
some of those games are good.
Well, I mean, they are really good games, but the problem is that if you're a Japanese company, you want to go worldwide. The Vita is not doing well any place but Japan.
No, but I'm saying you should have. There's some ways you should have released it towards the West and everything else. Some of them are not really, like you said, exclusive to Japan, and of course that's on Sony because they did not push the Vita. They just shoved it to the side.
Yeah, they were like,
they didn't promote it. They should have. They should have promoted and whatever. And the funny thing about it too, I was laughing because I was talking to Triple M this week, and when what was it? The Nintendo Minute came out, and I saw them walking through the Kyoto office building because I went there when the office opened in 2015 early that year, and I went through there and stuff, and they were like. They're showing the videos and stuff. I was like, okay. I said, all right, they're showing the business one. I said, I guarantee you, they're not gonna show that the development studio part, and they went in there and they showed the lobby, and that's it. I was like, okay, because I was saying, even though you guys work for Nintendo, I know you ain't gonna let you.
Oh hell no.
As soon as I walked through the gate, they were like, turn your phone off.
They're really kind of secretive over there. I've never gone there, but even
being there
15 years ago, you used to be able to at least go through kind of the Hanafuda part of it, like the old. You could have. Not anymore. Shit. No, they got that shit locked down tighter than a. Well, I could use a really vulgar example.
Yeah, but they just got it locked down like Fort now because basically, when you go to the business office, it's open. There's no gates. There's nothing. You go to the development office, which is just across the street. Nope. It's surrounded by gates. It got guards. It's like, nah, Negroes, you ain't coming in here to destroy anything.
You're not gonna be like Solid Snake sneaking in there, you know?
No, it ain't. Nah, they're making sure of that. So yeah, when I went in there, it was that I took 2 pictures, but I took pictures in there. But it was after they're like, okay, you can take a picture of this because this is innocent, which was I took a picture of the guys working on games, it was not I couldn't see none in the picture. You don't see none in the screen. You just saw it from like a side, like a profile. You saw the screen, you saw people working, but that's about it. You didn't see nothing else. So I posted that on Google Plus. So that's the only thing I could have taken there. But when I got a chance to, like I said, play Zelda Breath of the Wild before it came out and all stuff, and I was like, oh, people are gonna love this. They're gonna enjoy this. I guarantee you, this is gonna be something great because I was blown by it, and I was like, it's Kit, and I forgot the name of the other girl, the girl who is there. I was like, are they gonna go in there and say something? And when I didn't see them do that, I'm like, okay, good. At least they do it for everybody, and it kind of makes sense because after that Smash Brother guy who did it for whatever, and they kicked him out, I think a lot of people from the other Nintendo were like, yeah, we're not gonna do this.
Yeah,
because you lost a cushy job.
That's a dream job working for. I mean, yeah, it's work, and work is going to have unpleasant parts to it. But I mean, you're working for Nintendo, one of the biggest gaming companies in the world, and I don't mean big in terms of
not size,
not size, but like big in terms of reputation and history and all that stuff. And you're gonna mess that up. Oh, let me leak this. Why?
So you're talking about the ESRB league, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about the guy who leaked
the Smash Brothers, the
Smash Brothers roster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired, and he should have been fired.
They also sued him as well, I think.
No, they didn't sue him. They just fired him.
Yeah, they just fired him. But
there's nothing you could do at that point. He didn't sign a contract to not do stuff. You can't sue him for not doing that. He just leaked it for some kind of fame with the stuff, and then it was like. And here's the thing: in Japan, they don't like most Japan companies, and Nintendo's one of them. They don't really fire their people. You went Gunpei Yokoi and messing up. They put him in the side office. They didn't fire him. Hey, okay, your virtual boy didn't work that well, but we still want to work with you. We know you got some good ideas. And again, the Switch and the DS and all that stuff came from Gunpei Yokoi's schematics books.
Yeah, so and I mean, like in Japan, they like a lot, especially old school business places, still have this. You're employed for life.
Yeah,
if you give us your lifeblood, we'll take care of you.
Wait, who are these people that say Nintendo's in forward thinking? Gunpei Yokoi was thinking about.
Yeah. Gunpei, like really, Gunpei Yokoi.
Go ahead. Sorry, go
ahead. Gunpei Yokoi and Genyo Takeda, between the two of them, basically injected a lot of lifeblood into what makes Nintendo in terms of the tech side of it and the invention and with their technology, like Nintendo using old tech in new ways because part of it's cheap because they don't want to spend top of the line money on the stuff, and I can't blame them. You know, you repurpose as much as you can, but
well, like I said, and Genyo Takeda was basically apprenticed to Gunpei Yokoi. Yeah, that's what. Like I said, like I said, the Switch and the Switch, the Wii U, the 3D, the DS, the 3D, all that stuff. That was schematics from Gunpei Yokoi's book back in the 90s. This is 2018, and his stuff is still going on. Of course, people add more stuff and whatever, but the schematics of the ideas and the drawings of what it should look like and everything came from this guy who died in 98 or 96. 97? Okay, 97 with a car crash. Yeah. So this guy, holy crap. Hell, even Apple would love that with Steve. I'm being an ass for this why saying that, but okay, you know what I mean, though.
I mean, that's the one I really think they should have kept Gunpei Yokoi because the thing is like, look, everyone's gonna have a failure. Hell, Miyamoto made Devil World. That game sucks.
Well, they didn't. Like I said, they didn't fire him. They kept him. They didn't fire him. But that's my point. Like, that's
they put him in the corner, and I was like, that's kind of not cool.
Well, that was Yamauchi back in those days.
I mean, he kind of told you guys that the shit wasn't ready. You know, I mean that's like a chef saying that's like you telling a chef, I need 3,000 cupcakes by 6 o'clock, and it's like 3 o'clock now. It's like I don't have the capacity to make 3,000 cupcakes. I'll do the best I can, but I mean it's not gonna be perfect. Well, do what you can, and then you do what you can. This shit's ridiculous. I told you it wasn't ready. You know.
No, I got you. But like I said,
that was Yamauchi.
Yamauchi was ruthless back in those days too.
He was kind of I mean, like people are like, can we go back to the Yamauchi days? Yamauchi was good for the time that he had.
He was a businessman. That's what he was. That's all it was.
It's good that someone else came along after him because shit can't stay the same all the time. There needs to be change eventually.
So can we argue that Kimishima is a modern day Yamauchi?
No,
not really. No.
Kimishima is nowhere close to Yamauchi. When Yamauchi could tell Bill Gates to suck his dick, I'm not selling my company to you.
Yeah,
that's a big difference.
I mean, this is the dude who told Sony. Yamauchi is the dude who told Sony back in the day when Sony had huge market cap, was if not the biggest electronic entertainment conglomerates back in the day, to fuck off. And not only that, I'm gonna break the deal because you tried to fuck me over. No one's allowed to fuck me except Mrs. Yamauchi and my mistress.
But yeah, Yamauchi
basically,
he was a different person.
Yamauchi, he did not care.
Yeah, because you didn't get up close when you used to walk through E3 he had his people call him the Yakuza bodyguard, but he had the people around him. You didn't approach him like that. You just didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, and to be fair, Bill Gates did try to screw over Yamauchi, and it didn't work out for him. You know, I mean, why do you think Microsoft tried to buy Rare? I mean, did buy Rare because they were like, yeah, we're gonna get all these IPs that Rare worked on for Nintendo, and someone was stupid enough to think they were getting the shit that was actually Nintendo's anyway, that Rare worked on, and it didn't work out for them. Rare has not been. I mean, you know, I've played Sea of Thieves. That game is like No Man's Sky, except on the ocean.
Well, it's like Sprite said too. Like I said, Kimishima right now is like but look at the transformation. Yamauchi was behind the scenes, a businessman, cutthroat, but he know where to put the right people in the right places. Even though Gopo Yopo messed up a little bit, he didn't fire him. He still kept his handbook. He still Genji Takeda still shadow him to do what he did right now, and that's why he retired last year. But all that's in that regard, and of course putting Miyamoto there, and of course then you have Iwata who came in and he became more face of Nintendo. He went outward, he talked to people, he greet hands, he was opposite of Yamauchi. He was more outward, more hey, how you doing? Oh, you want to play our games? This is why we're making games. He was a developer, blah blah blah. And then like right now you got Kimishima doing kind of half and half because he's sitting back. He's not saying nothing really too publicly. He's sitting back like in the Yamauchi style of scene. But why would I do that when I have Reggie and Kazumi out there who could do a better job? I'm not because he came from financial side. He's not out.
I was just gonna say, not just that. Kimishima is not a very photogenic person. Like he's not. He looks like a turtle, and not in a cool way.
Oh, he also
really
has,
don't want a man who looks like a turtle.
He also has some people suffer from this, a bitch face.
Yeah, he has resting bitch face. Yes. Like it's like he's like, hey man, you just made a lot of money. Why did you have a smile on your face? I am smiling. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
Bro.
Exactly. And then just to get back to Sega for a second, I'm happy that people could go play Shenmue 1 and 2. I got it on the Dreamcast. That's one of the different games that I have on the Dreamcast is Shenmue, and I don't know if you're gonna sell that well because it's a time period type of game.
Yeah,
it's not gonna. Because some of the stuff right now is like I say, I can appreciate it because I played it when it first came out. Maybe Red and maybe some of the people here can appreciate it. But a lot of these new gamers are not. It's too arcade for them. They're not going to just jump at this.
Well, speaking of gamers, Shenmue, which, was I guess there's that game that, showed that gaming was just more than just, people with giant swords and these extraordinarily, events and just chaos on the screen. And I'm looking at the only review I saw was the new God of War. You can't spell ignorance without the IGN.
I saw IGN review. Yeah,
I saw that review, and I'm just wondering, if I just still feel like we're still stuck in this period of a lot of these game journalists who are ashamed to be game journalists, are ashamed of being into gaming. It's like, oh, God of War is matured. It's now this gripping story, like in the movies. It's not this.
I get an aspect you're talking about, saying that. I mean, like I said, I've seen multiple reviews. One of the persons I'm more liking him because he got an advanced copy and he did a review on it too, and he told me about it. I'm like, hey, that's cool. I respect his opinion more because I know he's not, one of those guys who do it for clickbaits and all that stuff because he really doesn't care. And I was like, you know what? I ain't see nothing wrong if the game's solid, whatever. And hey, it's a Sony exclusive. Like I said, I'm one of those guys who like, I've got an exclusive sales help, get more different ideas out there than just doing third party all the time because sometimes the third party is good, but there's a lot of time they just repeat a lot of stuff. Because again, look what's happening right now. Now that Lawbreakers didn't work out for Cliffy B and all that stuff. Now you got Radical Heights. Oh, great! Another game, another battle royale game, right on the. And only 5 months. And only 5 months of development too. Yeah, that game's gonna be a gem of a game.
You know, I wish Cliffy B would just make another Jazz Jackrabbit, or something like Jazz Jackrabbit, like a platformer with guns and a cute mascot. I mean, Jesus, look, Cliff, look. Here's what I've noticed about most of these developers that leave like story development studios or publishers. They never do. Most of them do not do well after they leave.
Kaiji Inafune, for example.
It's because it's like some of your favorite film directors or film directors in general. They don't do well on their own because they don't have people saying, they don't have editors, they don't have people saying, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. They don't have those people anymore. So when they're on their own, they do a lot of weird things, and they have these weird ideas.
It works out half and half because it just, as you explained in the way that Red explained, there's some people who can make great games being by themselves, and there's some people who can't make great games by themselves.
Like Yacht Club, they used to be
part of Way Forward.
Way Forward, and those games are really awesome. So I mean, it's but a lot of times I'm talking like the big, huge, like okay, like I mean, I hate to say this, but Yuji Naka. I mean, come on.
Also Kaiji Inafune with Mighty Number 9, and we all know how well that turned out.
Yeah, and I'm gonna call it right now. I haven't played this game, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Death Stranding is gonna be a turd.
No, you don't have to tell me that.
You ain't gotta tell me that too. I don't think it's gonna be okay, let me put this way. I'll be nice. Red said what he said. That's Red. I don't think it'll be a turd. I think it's just gonna be. I just think Sony's gonna regret giving this man unlimited fun.
Yeah, they gave this man all this money.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm sorry.
I was like, and I saw that demo they had the thing with like Norman Reedus and some other guy. I'm like, some dumb person gave this mofo a blank check at Sony. You need to be fired once this game comes out. Like seriously, whoever gave him that blank check, like, I'm sorry, you got to go. You got to get the hell out of here. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's gonna be something like I said, because a lot of people and Kanoshi knows, because we talked about this a while back. I was saying, being that a lot of people have you have a lot of the variants for Kojima, but Kojima did, and everyone like, oh man, Konami did Kojima bad. Kojima did himself bad too. He wasn't all roses at Konami, because when he became the vice president, he basically did Igarashi bad.
He starved other projects so that the money could be funneled to Metal Gear games. And here's the thing: the Metal Gear games were still making less profit with each iteration.
I didn't make the money, so hell.
So it's like I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? Everyone wants to say Konami is the bad guy, but if you own a business and your sole purpose is to generate profit, for a for-profit business, your point is to make money. And you put someone in charge of something that says, yeah, my way is going to make everyone a lot of money. Okay, fair enough. And then they basically starve lower budget projects that could have made money and been less risky to go all in on AAA game development for their franchise, which is kind of a little, it's not illegal, but it's damn unethical. And then those games are making less money with each iteration. I mean, at a certain point, if you're higher up the chain, you're going to say, this motherfucker has to go. I mean, I don't know why people are like, oh, they fired Kojima. They ran him out of the business. Now, some of the stuff they did afterwards were like, the health concern that Konami has a huge share in, not giving the new company that Kojima created health insurance through them. That's
basically really, blocking him from going from the Gamers Award. That was shitty.
That's a dick move. Yeah. But I mean, this dude had been costing them millions of dollars, in some cases billions.
Why do you think Metal Gear Survive? They try to use the same Fox engine. They spent a ton of money on that engine.
I mean,
and they didn't make their money back. So yeah, I would be. I'm sorry, I would.
Yeah, with all the Jim Sterling's fuck Kojima, Konami. You should have said fuck Kojima as well, because
well, I mean, I'm one of those.
The company.
I'm one of those.
Wait. So what you said again, Alex?
No, he nearly bankrupted Konami.
Exactly.
Yes.
And, I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. Kojima's like everyone's like you ask the people who say they're Hideo Kojima fans, you ask them, did you play any of his other games besides Metal Gear? No. I'm like, how are you gonna be a Kojima fan and you didn't play his better games like Snatcher, Police Knots, he was an executive producer on Zone of Enders. That's a good game. Or Boktai, The Sun Is in Your Hands. I mean,
or even the earlier Metal Gear games like 1 and 2 on the MSX.
Yeah, those games are awesome. Why is it that the only ones you like are the ones that are really pervy? Like, oh, I'm Solid Snake. I'm going to point a gun at this chick in the bathroom until she pees on herself. Ew. Yeah, that's in Metal Gear Solid for the PS1. I mean, I think Metal Gear, especially the later ones that came out that everyone's like, oh, they're so great. I think they're overrated. I think Hideo Kojima does make some good games, but his best games are ones where he's ripping off movies from the 80s or the 70s, like Blade Runner.
What?
Ain't that what you said? That because the better games are when he's ripping off movies.
Yeah. That's seems to be the movie scene.
So the movie industry ripping other works is a big no-no because you want to work on something purely original, no matter what.
Here's what I'm going to say: the best Hideo Kojima games are the ones that he rips off of movies from the 80s and 70s. For example, Police Knots is Lethal Weapon in space. Your main character is this guy with a mullet who looks like Riggs, and then his partner is a black guy who looks like a cartoon version of Murtaugh. Snatcher is Blade Runner. I mean, actually, Snatcher's a pretty good game. And I mean, Zone of the Enders is every shonen anime from the early 90s. Boktai is basically like Metal Gear except crossed with Vampire Hunter D, which Metal Gear itself is Escape from New York. But I mean, I'm just saying that it's kind of like how people say they're Metroid fans, but you ask how many Metroid games they played, and they only played Prime. I'm like, oh, I think you're not a fan, you're just an enthusiast.
Yeah. So
same thing with Shin Megami Tensei fans. You ask them how many games they played, and they'll probably be like, Nocturne 4?
Or Persona 4 or Persona 3. And they're an expert of the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, but they only played 2 games.
Yeah. Yep. Well, like I said, I'm happy that it's coming out HD. I think it's not going to sell as much as people think as they think it is. But hey, whatever it is, I'm one of those gamers. Like, I'm not negative against more games coming out of product ports, whatever. And that I'm not one of those guys. If it comes out and it could give more games and let people experience this wonderful hobby that we have, it's all right. Now, I will say one thing they did announce that was not surprise to me, but I hope a lot of people didn't get their hearts up. Now, everybody jumped to the joy. Oh, they're making a Sega Mini. Yay! But it's from At Games.
Which means it's gonna be low quality bullshit. Yeah.
At Games. Turn it on.
Wait, say that again?
It'll probably break the second you turn it on.
Well, At Games just does bad emulation of Sega games.
Exactly. Well, just bad. All of their little micro mini consoles, like all-in-one mini consoles, are garbage. They're garbage.
If you in the big, one of the biggest games, of course, is Sonic the Hedgehog. If you really want to play Sonic the Hedgehog, try to get a hold of Whitehead's Sonic
Mania.
Yeah, either Sonic Mania, or if you need to play the original Sonic the Hedgehog, try to get
there's many
hack versions.
You gotta get a hack version. There's many collections over the years that you can play that game for. Every console. The thing about it is,
here's all I'll say. There's the Virtual Console. There's you can go on Steam to get the Sega Classics collection.
I was gonna say that. Like Sega really was one of the original people who did start doing the collection thing.
You know what these companies need to do? They need to create a box of all the games of that never got localized over, and create a mini box of like 8-bit, 16-bit games that never got localized but have now gotten localized. That never came over here, that a lot of people wanted, and they could probably make a decent profit with that. That's what they really need to do.
Well, I wish that were true, but there's a lot of.
Go ahead, sorry, Red. Go ahead.
There's a lot of issues with that because one of my favorite games for my Famicom is Live Alive. That game is never going to get localized because the company, half of the artwork was done by this art house in Japan. And like half of the rights are with them, and so that game's never going to get localized because the artists that used to work there and worked on it are in different places, and the rights, it's just a major rights issue. And I would love to have Live Alive localized because it's a really good JRPG. But
be like what you said, Kenoshi, the game that you always crack joke that will never get localized.
Well,
your game. You always said it every time. Mother 3.
Oh, Mother 3. That's right. That's it. That game ain't never getting localized.
Despite all the rumor mongers like Emily Rogers or Laura Dale.
People just need to. Yeah, that game isn't coming over.
I don't know this before. Okay, I'm not for piracy or emulation, but you know what? If a game's never going to come over and you don't speak the language, just look. There's a really good translation for it. Just do that and just call it a day. I mean, shit. Nintendo got their money, okay? Nintendo's not going bankrupt anytime soon. you can play Mother 3.
Yeah, I just have a friend of mine just make me Super Nintendo repro carts of games of Super Nintendo games that never came out here that I wanted to play pretty badly, like Tales of Fantasia. Well, the original Super Nintendo version, the uncensored, the good version.
Yeah, because the Game Boy Advance version sucks. It's not very. Plus the sound chip. Oh God.
What game is this?
Tales of Fantasia.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, I enjoy it, so I'm one of those. I'm one of the creepy weirdos because I bought it for Game Boy Advance.
Well, I mean,
no, I'm not. No, your opinion is right. I'm not denying. I said
I'm
different. That I didn't say that I got it because, like I said, nostalgia.
Nintendo. I mean, it's a really good game. I'm just saying that the sound, like ports of SNES games to the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Advance version of the soundtrack just didn't. It sounded off if you played the SNES version. Like the Donkey Kong Country games that were ported to the Game Boy Advance, just the games play the same. I mean, you have a different aspect ratio because of the screen size, but the music,
sounds like NES almost.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that there were some games that had really good music on the Game Boy Advance, like the Golden Sun games.
And let's not forget the trumpet memes from Ruby and Sapphire. You can't get enough of those.
I don't even remember playing Ruby and Sapphire. I have the games. I don't remember playing them on the Game Boy Advance, so it is what it is. But yeah, Tales of Fantasia is a really good game. I would tell anyone to get it. The Game Boy Advance was a really good system. Look, if Nintendo is making a successor to the 3DS and it's not the Switch, bring back the Game Boy brand.
Yeah.
Except in today's political correct world, you can't call it the Game Boy. Call it the Game Child. which would bring everything back around because there was a bootleg video game console when the Game Boy came out and from Taiwan called the Game Child. So Nintendo's just taking their shit back. The Game
Child also appeared in Amazing World of Gumball.
Yeah, the Game Child.
You guys are weird. Anyway, but let me see. What else? I think that's, I mean, as topic wise that I jumped on, that's mostly I can think of because there are a couple more stuff that I think, but there's nothing. It's been slow now. We wait until see the end of the month. Like I said, you keep an eye out. No, I'm not doing videos as much, but like I said, been so busy. But I do have I am gonna do 2 videos at the most. One video, like I did last year, as you saw last year, I broke down the financials of Nintendo in that regard. And if Sony stuff comes up and everything else, I'll jump in there, whatever. But then I'm gonna do a video about what the first year the Switch did and stuff. And you get stuff like what the game, because I when I did my video a little while ago, I did it wrong in a way. The one I did earlier when I was talking about Nintendo in the first year, I forgot to say, because I was just thinking from the Western point of view. When I added up Western and the Europe version of games, the Nintendo Switch basically came close to having 1,000 games in the first year. And that's ridiculous. Nobody's
done insane because Nintendo Switch has no games. No, I'm joking.
No, but I'm just saying, like, but I'm talking about exclusive that's for the European market and on the Japanese market. Like Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2 is on the Switch in Japan, but not over here. Right now, Phantasy Star is going to be released in Japan. It's not coming over here. So, which is kind of messed up. But hey, let's hope.
Sega's been doing that with Phantasy Star for a while now.
Well, this one looks like they did a good job of making this game. I would have been interested in playing this one. We'll see. I mean, you can buy the game. You could go to multiple people on YouTube to find out how to do the Japanese version Switch, and you can play the game and all that stuff. You could do that if you want to. So
but that's text heavy, and I
get you. No, I know. I
don't want to learn Japanese.
I got I got you. Like I said, when I played the Japanese, remember I bought Xenoblade Chronicles X twice. One Japanese version because I really got into the game and I wanted to see that. But I don't, I wanted to see that, but and I enjoyed it. But a lot of people was like, "Did you play a lot of the?" I said, "No, I didn't play a lot of the side quests because it was text heavy, and I can understand basic Japanese or kanji, but still, it's a lot of nuances that I was never gonna get. Like right now playing Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade 2, I should say on Switch. There are a lot of, like I said, those side quests. If you didn't know certain words, you'll get lost."
Yeah.
So I understand you're saying. I'm just saying for people out there who want to do stuff like that. So in that regard, it will have that. I'm kind of wrapping this up a little, but since you just joined us, Alex, is there any topic that you want to throw out there that maybe we could battle for a little bit before I answer some questions and call it a night? Since you just joined in, like anything that perks your interest that you like, want to have, want us to talk about.
I think, it's a couple weeks. This topic's probably a couple weeks old.
It's right up talking. I say I don't care. If you're the new person,
it's been over for a while now. I think Red Fox will probably know a lot more about it than some of you guys will. Like the NCAA tournament, the basketball tournament. Oh yeah, I'm sure you probably heard that my team lost in the national championship game.
Well, hey. Is you know what it is, man. I'm in North Carolina, so you know how North Carolina feel.
Duke didn't make it, so they real.
You know how the state I live in feels. So come on now.
Here's some breaking news regarding the whole Billy Mitchell controversy that happened last week. Billy Mitchell himself is trying to attempt to prove that his scores are legit.
Well, like I said, I wish him the best. Triforce backs him up in saying some of his stuff that he's done. So I wish him the best. It's back then it's harder because of how time is back then that you didn't record stuff. You had to do.
Look. Yeah. Here's what Twin Galaxies needs to do. Okay. They need to give everyone a chance to come in, or organize with other arcade type places and be like, look, we're going to have people on hand, give new guidelines for people to re-get their scores. Because here's the thing. Yeah, I know you had different reflexes when you were a teenager versus now, but if you have the skill can make up for a lot of stuff. You just take on a different
well, if it ain't get dull over time, then you can, yes.
So you know what? Look, just let these people go and re-get their scores. Just vacate what can't be factually proven, to a T. Let people re-get their scores and then put them back in there. Now, personally, I don't like Billy Mitchell because I saw the King of Kong and that dude played a heel perfectly. But But you know what? Let everyone go back and re-get their scores, and do what they need to do, and I mean, it would be a good way for Twin Galaxy to really reclaim some legitimacy because they've lost a lot of it. Because some of those scores were obviously fake. Because if you play those games, you'd be like, I don't see how anyone could get that score, even if they were perfect. But it is what it is.
I got you now. Well, well, like I said, for me, I mean, I've been listening from Triforce Johnson's side and stuff, so that's what I'm listening from mostly. I'm not into the story, but listen to what Triforce Johnson said. I'm like, you know what? Hey, you know what? Even if, as you just say, people could be douches, but if they did a legitimate thing, yeah, and they done it, then let's do, because again, what Triforce Johnson have a lot of Guinness Book of Records stuff. Now he could be proven because he is in the age of where you can record stuff easily, and right. So we'll see how that see what happens. But right now, let's see. Anything else other than that? Like Alex, I mean, like I said, okay, I'll ask this question too. What consoles do you have?
I have a GameCube, Super Nintendo, N64, PS1 and 2, 3DS, Saturn, Wii U, and a Wii.
Okay, now the PlayStation 3, 1, Xbox One. No. Well, like I said, those are. And the next thing is that I'll bring up this point too. I've seen a lot of, again, YouTubers just, this is sad. The news YouTubers is just like real news. They just stop. One news site said something, everybody takes off for it. The whole PlayStation 5 rumors is, they're like, can we just wait?
Oh yeah, wait? No, we can't wait. We can't wait until Christmas. We got to open up our presents now.
Yeah, just let it go.
Are you so bored with the PS4 that you want to go to the PS5 now? Really?
Yep. Exactly. They're bored.
I mean, even though the PS4 took about 2.5 to 3 years to start getting games that really made it into an enticing purchase, so now you want to start all over again with another console.
And just after it got a mid-gen upgrade for the PS4 Pro.
Well, like I said, that's Sony trying their best to stay. That's Sony's trying. That was the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I did a video about that. I'm sorry to people. Like, if you were born and you enjoy the console, as I am impartial that way, that's you. But as a business sense, it was basically this PlayStation 4 was like a girl, and she had. I'm being graphical here. In the random talks, we'd be a little graphic, Alex, sometimes. But it's just that she found out her titties were sagging, and she get to get the bolt-ons. That's what the PlayStation 4 was.
She just had a little work done.
That's what it is.
And I mean, to be fair, listen, Sony is a business, but look, if you're someone, I'm going to keep it real. I don't have a PS4, so getting a PS4 Pro would probably be a great buy for me if I don't have a PS4. But if you have a PS4, there is absolutely almost no reason for you to get a PS4 Pro unless you absolutely have to have 4K gaming.
Checkerboard 4K gaming.
Yeah, kind of. Well, okay, really, with an asterisk, kind of, sort of 4K gaming.
Exactly.
Kind of, sort of 4K gaming.
I mean, even for me, I'm like I said, I'm gonna get a PlayStation. Technically speaking, between me and you, Red Fox, we said we want to get a PlayStation 4 because of the games that was coming out on the last year.
Now they're all coming to PC.
Well, that's one. That is one.
That's one. And also, the Switch just keeps on.
Took our money.
Yeah. The Switch is like I feel like a parent with a kid, because it's like you're thinking you have all this extra money, but then your kid's like, I need this. Like, well, bye extra money. That's how it is with the Switch.
That's not what for me. It was basically I went to sleep. I went to sleep. I thought my water was good. I looked up. I said, "Wait a minute, it's off a little bit." Went in there. This thing, my water is empty as hell. It had money in there. And it was empty. They even cut up my credit cards and said all that shit going into Switch. Okay,
For me, it's basically like, okay, there are games that I really want on the Switch that I'm like, okay, because I budget my stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna spend this on this, and then a lot of the games that are coming to the PS4. Are coming to PC, so it's like, I mean,
no, you're right.
15% of your library. And I mean, 15% of the library, like the games I really want that are coming to the PS4, I can wait until like later on, like 2 or 3 years down the line when the PS4 is really cheap and get them up for a steal. Like, I don't need them now. Like Yakuza 0 and Yakuza whatever, I can get those later on. They're not going anywhere. It's not that the games are going to disappear. They're gone now. Can I download them digitally? Yeah. Then they're not gone. Well, shit.
You stupid. But you're not wrong. You are not wrong about that.
I'm a Yakuza fanboy, so to me, Yakuza is Shenmue but better because it actually has a better fighting system, and it's not quite as, hey, you have to spend 5 hours actually with a part-time job running a forklift. For real. It's like, what?
Oh yeah,
there's stuff like that, but it's not like 5 hours. That doesn't take you forever.
Well, I'm being a little facetious with the 5 hours, but there literally is a part in Shenmue where you get a day shift and an afternoon shift of running a forklift in a warehouse. I'm like, no, this is a joke. Like when I first played it, I'm like, this is a joke. This is a troll move. Nope.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Yeah, there's also the forklift racing as well.
Yeah. Okay, I got a topic. I just came with a topic. Just end it off with that. I'll end it with the topic. Let me go through the questions quick and then end the topic. But that's something I forgot to talk about. I need to, whatever. So let me see. So Mailman asks, is God of War review sound like a movie? It does. I'm not gonna deny it. It doesn't. It feels like it. Sound like it. That's why I said when I was listening to my friend and he told me what it is. It wasn't like that. He was just talking about the gameplay itself. So I believe him that it's a solid gameplay. He has no issues with the game. And he said no crazy frame rate drops and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's all I need to know. I mean, I'm not super a God of War fan, but I do play some of the games and I enjoy them. So it's hack and slash, grueling, beating them up. So it's kind of down my genre, but I don't have the reverence as other people have. I don't have that reverence of this is the greatest hack and slash ever, blah blah blah. Not me.
Yeah.
But like I said, if I'm gonna get a PlayStation, I will pick it up and whatever. Let me see. I wonder how Fire Emblem Warriors is on the 3DS. Yeah, that's a good question. I can't answer the question because I don't know nobody that has Fire Emblem Warriors in the 3DS. I just know it from the Switch version, and I said I've enjoyed the game very well throughout 83. I am not angry with my purchase. I am not angry with my $20 I spent for the expansion pack either because I have already put over $200 in that freaking game, and I still got more to go. As I just said, I already defeated 4 maps, and I got 8 more to go. So I got a long way to go with that game, and that's a lot of content.
Yep, that's your money's worth.
I got my money's worth out of that one. A lot of companies do that, but again, I digress. Let's keep on. Any more questions here? And also one that was specifically for you, Red, and I'm trying to find it again.
And if a game plays like an interactive movie, then I fear for its replay value.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's something like Police Knots, then
yeah, but Police Knots is more like a cross between those old adventure games and a first-person shooter at some points, but on a fixed screen, not like actiony. I'm going to tell you the best version of Police Knots, though. Police Knots SD for the MSX. It's super deformed Police Knots, so it's like an RPG where you can where you get into battles and you can use you get like a target reticule where you can use your gun to shoot enemies in specific spots to weaken them. So like you can shoot robots in the eyes to mess up their accuracy. You can shoot them in the legs so they can't run away. It's actually a really good game. Like, I mean, look, it's not that I don't like Hideo Kojima. I just think that his better games don't get the credit they deserve because everyone has this fetish about Metal Gear Solid, especially the ones that came to the PlayStation. So, I mean, that's just me.
I got you. Basically, to relax why they're not going to localize Phantasy Star over to the West. And Basically, once the 20 saying the same thing about it, they don't see that they'll make the money like how Square Enix with Dragon Quest 11. It could be. I could guess, but when it comes to something like that, without seeing what happens after the game comes out and done, I do not want to take anything. I don't know. That's just I don't know, and I'm not gonna. I can speculate, but if you got something ready, you can say it.
I think it's a combination of Sega being cheap at this point, and also the other Phantasy Star games, Phantasy Star Online style games, did not do too well here in America.
Yeah, I mostly think that's mostly the case. You're right.
So they're not, I mean, I was one of those people. Like, I got Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2. I have it for the Dreamcast and for the GameCube. I have Phantasy Star Online 3, Episode 3. I have Phantasy Star Universe and the expansion / sequel, Ambition of Illuminus. And I was one of those people buying those Phantasy Star games, and I didn't even play them online because I was not buying a modem for friggin' PlayStation 2. But I played them, and they were solid little kind of like action RPGs type things. But I mean, they didn't like I'm a hardcore gamer. You cannot build an audience just off of people like me, especially for something like Phantasy Star that doesn't have the brand recognition of a Final Fantasy or something like that. So, yeah, it's just not worth it. It does well in Japan, and they're okay with that. I mean,
yeah, I got you. Okay, so this is the last topic. I see no more questions in here. So this is the last topic I want to talk about, which is something that I'll say this. It's annoying. They're gonna find. I know gamers gonna find ways to do things that I don't. I'm not game. The game company is gonna find ways to do things that to make their money back. Because everybody spend a lot of money and they're gonna find ways to. Some people look at it as they we over the microtransactions and the loot boxes and stuff. And again, if you don't like stuff, you don't buy it. But there's another trend that's also happening that's also getting annoying to me. I'm gonna say I'm not angry. I'm not gonna rant to stop it because that is just crazy. But gaming company, how about we come out with your definitive edition? We know that trend's been for a while. Come out with your definitive edition, your year one edition. Okay, we got that. But all these friggin' different editions, what's going on with that? It's ridiculous. I'll give you an example. So, if you go to Amazon.com and you try to buy Far Cry 5.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, Ubisoft's been doing this for years.
I know. I gotta use it as that. Well, that's the only person I'm gonna hit it with that as well too. But you have. Far Cry 5 has a lot of different. You're gonna buy the game? Well, get ready to. Which game do you want to buy? Because they have the standard edition, then they have the special edition, then they have the Father's edition, then they have the Father's Plus edition. I'm like, which one is the game that has the content that I need so I can enjoy the game? I don't even know which one is complete. I don't even know the standard edition is the one that can rip me off.
Have you tried looking at the copyright date? The copyright, because it shows the date of the most recent one.
That doesn't. There's also different. There's different editions for different consoles. Like,
it's not even that. I'm just that you're talking about that in the general sense. You're right, Red. And to what you're saying, Raphael, is that some of this. If you look at the copyright, the Father's edition doesn't include some, because somebody told me this doesn't include the gold editions, the gold editions content. So you can't go by that either.
And this is why for certain genres of games, it's just better to get the Game of the Year edition, like Bethesda games.
But again, you don't know. Yeah, I'll say wait, but they're doing this at the beginning of it, though. That's the thing. Like right now, Noni Kuni, as Red just said, you got Noni Kuni. You have the collector's edition, the premium edition, the digital deluxe edition, the collector's edition.
I just got it on Steam where you get the King's edition, which is, I mean, that's the only version they have. So the premium edition, the special edition is what you get, and you get extra stuff.
But again, that's multiple editions. That's how am I saying?
Yeah, I mean, on console it is like that. There's like 3 different versions of the game. Four.
I'm looking at it right now. That was it. There's 4.
They only have one version on PCs on Steam, so thank God for that.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm like, you got Day 1 edition, Standard edition, Premium edition, Deluxe edition, Collector's edition.
Don't you think that's bad? Square Enix did the same damn thing with Chrono Trigger.
They did the same thing, and they did the same thing with freaking Final Fantasy 15 too.
Yeah, I was gonna get that game on PC, but after I borrowed my friend's PS4 and played it, I was like, nah, that's okay. I played this game once. It's like, well, what if with all the new content? I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I played it, I beat it. I'm like, I'm done. It's like, but they have extra content now. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I mean,
it's just for me. It's just weird like that. And the reason I brought that topic up because I saw posters of all the stuff, but also remember too, Ni no Kuni. Now, Namco Bandai, and I've said it once, I said it again. I have a love-hate with Namco Bandai. I love some of the stuff they do. I hate some of the stuff they do. I've been vocal about the stuff that I like that they do. Which is, it's not that they do stuff that's bad. It's just like did bad practices or something like that. That I'm like, oh, this is a test or whatever. I just don't like the stuff. The stuff I don't like is when, of course, just like they did with Tales. They made the Tales game. Tales F came on the Wii. Then they put it over to the West on a PlayStation, but they never put it over to the Wii in the West. I didn't like that. And they did the same thing with huh?
You'd think their Sony fanboy producer Hideo Baba for that, because
well, here's a funny thing though. Ni no Kuni, okay, PlayStation 2. A lot of people like it. It got great reviews. That's on PlayStation 4 and PC. That's great. You know it didn't sell that well in Japan. The place that it started well, and it saw that on 3DS as well. It started on 3DS. They brought it over to PlayStation. They never put it over to the 3DS over here in the West, which is again the same thing I don't like. Now, why you did that? But whatever. Now you just went straight PC and
PS4. Yeah.
And people in Japan didn't, and people are shocked that it didn't sell that well in Japan. Well, yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I can tell you why it didn't sell well in Japan, because Ni no Kuni 2 is not as good as the first game.
I thought it was because I thought it was mentioned that Ni no Kuni 2 focused more on the West than Japan.
No, it's not as good as a game. It's not as good a game. Like the first Ni no Kuni, like even though you played as this little kid, had a very dark story.
Oh, yeah, that I know. Yeah, the first story. I've not played 2, so I'm going off what you're going to say, Ray, because I'm not played 2. I played 1.
The combat was very like, even though people say the combat in Ni no Kuni, the first Ni no Kuni was kind of easy, the combat in Ni no Kuni 2 is fucking brain dead. Like basically, even if an enemy is like 10 levels above you, as long as you have a strong enough weapon equipped and armor, and you know how to dodge. Just hack and slash, dodge, hack and slash. I mean, it's really, really easy. Like like Ni no Kuni 2 feels like a lot of good ideas were thrown together, but no thought was given how to make these ideas work as one cohesive gameplay thing. It's like you've got the kingdom building, but aside from a few things where you have to do like level up your kingdom and unlock some spell or ability, you really don't have to do any kingdom building. It has the Higgledies, which in this game take the place of the fairies you had in the first game, where it was almost like a Pokemon thing where different fairies had different abilities and evolutions and elemental alignments and stuff. In this game, the Higgledies are just there, but you don't really need to use them. I mean, the game just feels like, okay, we have some ideas, let's throw them together and get this shit out the door. And I mean, you know, I can understand why Japanese gamers maybe saw this game as like, this game's not doing it for me. So I mean, it's
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am gonna pick up the game like Red said. I'm gonna pick it up for PC because I love the animation. That's one of the reasons I like the first one. The animation and the story was dark, but it was told very well. I like the first story, and it appeals to me. It's like I was telling Triple M this, and it's weird as people said this too. It's like when I buy video games, majority of the time, and I'm talking for myself only, of course. I want to get away from everyday mundane, as our favorite person from Gamers at Large, Kwame and Shu used to say, it's a $60 ticket away from reality.
Mm-hmm.
You want to relax your mind, you want to get away, you want to chill. And when I see games like Grand Theft Auto and you know the shooter games and all that stuff, and so when I was like, oh, look how realistic this look how, I'm like, it takes more imagination to create these crazy, fantastical worlds. Like when I saw when we were talking about me and Trevor were talking about that, I was playing Xenoblade 2. I was on Fawcett Island on the opposite side. When you look up, you're like, who came with the idea that these clouds are just coming from down from the sky and just blocking a certain part of Altras? And if you walk through it, it's like it looks like water, even though it's a tunnel. So it's like that's imagination.
Yep.
That is a world that makes me think, I would love to be in this world in certain cases, but I'm just like, this is cool, you know. And the same thing with Ni no Kuni. Like I've seen Ni no Kuni's world in 1 and 2, and I like I said, 2 makes me like, oh, I want to go check this out. Oh, there's a river that's a split that that would never happen in our real world, but it's like the imagination of what would a landscape or what around you would be fantastical. I love games like that. That's why I love Tales. That's why I love Tales. Tales does a good job of that.
I'll tell you this much. The first Ni no Kuni had that moment that wins you. You know, a good RPG has that moment that wins you over where you're like, I'm down for the ride. Ni no Kuni 2 and Ni no Kuni 1 has this moment where you go to the island where the fairies are born. You have to help the queen of all fairies. You have to go inside of her and help her unborn children be born and from being attacked by these evil monsters. And I'm like, you know what? I'm down with this game. I'm on board. let's roll. Let's roll. That was the moment in that game where I was like, you know what? I'm down. And I mean, it's that game oozes charm because it's like you're playing a Hayao Miyazaki movie. You're playing a movie. And I don't mean this as a pejorative, like people say, it's like you're playing a movie. Literally, it's like you're playing something from Studio Ghibli, which it is because the illustrations and monster designs are done by Studio Ghibli. But
it looks not, I mean, again, it's for me. That's why I said like that. Like I said, I'll get an example. Another game that I got to get back into, but I'm just because I've been playing so much game. I'm also on the stories. I picked it up. I played it. Some of the demos help people. A lot of people picked up the demo, didn't like it. I picked up the demo and I loved it. My thing again, and I like what. I've played only one Monster Hunter game. It was all right, but I didn't get into it. But I like this one. And people say, oh, it's more like a what do you call it? A
traditional RPG.
No, it's more like a Pokemon, but different. The battle tactics is different than this. It's more nuanced in this one than Pokemon.
Right.
So because you have a triangle, but you also can figure out how to use the power move and everything else, whatever. But the world of you going there and fighting and stuff, I was like, wow, I am taking this little game, and this game is big on the 3DS again. It's one of those things where Capcom create a nice big game. If you took the time and do that dirty little word that we all know that everybody hates, optimize, you can create a lot of good experiences of a world. And just like Mailman put up too, another example of that is, of course, hey, and I still do to this day, Breath of the Wild, Zelda's world in Breath of the Wild. I'm intoxicated by that world. When I first played it in 2015, I was intoxicated, and when I got to play more, when I got it on my Wii U, it was amazing. And you see how Link, I like how Link basically, of course, if it's too cold, because it's not even like he's in a cold spot and he shivers. If the night gets cold, he shivers. Like the little nuances that they've done is why I like video games in all when people pick the time. An next example is that Xenoblade Chronicles. Kind of spoiler alert for anybody when you play Xenoblade 2, but I like when when it comes to chapter 9, and you're fight, and you get to the point where you saw the Titans, what one of the persons using the Titans for. I'm gonna be vague, but spoiler. Titans 4, and you go back on those Titans because if you want to say, okay, let me level up a little bit. I like that they put the world tree right beside the Titans.
Yeah, because there was a massive world change at that point.
Yeah, and it did, and you see it. I was like, and you see from different angles because I walked all around Mortardain. I went to the old factory. I went to the upper level, even the lower level, and you see the difference. I'm like, wow, they did spend the time to do this. I give credence to people who do that. You don't have to give me realistic graphics, but you give me the charm and nuances, and you pick the tiny details to make me feel like this is a lived-in world. It feels so good to me as a game, and I get lost into the world that this person's created. That's why I like games that are maybe anime based, maybe not anime based, because again, they got some games out there who are, like I said, I'll give again, Implosion is not anime based, but it pulls you in because of what the story is, and that's what I said. That's one of the few out of the 4 games that the ending, I didn't see the ending coming. Because I've played so many games now that I've been. I said this with Dr. Feelgood last time we did a podcast. It was all about, well, basically it was kind of random, but it wasn't because it was a news thing, and then Sprite and Dr. Feelgood jumped and Triple M jumped in. Because I'm in my 30s and I watched so many movies and so many stuff that I myself doesn't mean that my wisdom is that to know that, you know what, this might still work for somebody else. But my knowledge is I've seen these storylines so much that it got boring.
You get a little jaded.
Yes, exactly. I got a little boring. I got a little jaded. So a lot of people might say, oh, this game story is the best thing I ever. And literally I could say, well, I played it and I said, I've seen the tropes. I've seen this coming because I watch enough and see enough movies or games that have done this before. Like you were talking about how Kojima stole from the different the movies, like you said, Red. It's like that. So okay. So when I played Implosion, which was a mobile game that got imported over to the Switch, and I played the boss battle, I was like, what whoa, I did not see coming. I would say Chrono Trigger is one. SRW OG is another one. I didn't see how the ending was set up. What's I know another one that Robotech Battle Cry is on PlayStation and also on GameCube. The ending, did not see that coming. And Implosion, the ending was not predictable. It threw me off. I was like, whoa, wow. And people, I'll put it this way, in those games, now Chrono Trigger, you have multiple endings, of course. In SRW, you kind of have multiple endings, but not so much. You have maybe 2 endings, whatever, and you could do whatever it is. But Robotech and this game, if people play this game and they saw it, they would say, man, it was a shitty ending, it was whatever, because. But if you take the story as a whole and you're like, because spoiler alert, the good guys didn't make it out, but it showed what they did to make the world good. So it was not the trope of it's not a simple trope like, oh, I just sacrificed myself and everybody stayed alive. No, they did way more than that, and the degree of what they did made it more than that. Because the way they built up, I would never thought, oh, good guy's not gonna. Okay, if he dies, that's gonna be for them. No, but the way they did, I was like, wow, I did not see that, and wow, he did this. Whoa! Because in Implosion, 2 people gave their lives up for what happened. So I wish more games could do that, but again, I'm saying that because, as Red just said, I'm jaded because I've been around too much. Doesn't mean that if you love this story and doesn't mean, and I don't like it, doesn't mean that it's a bad story. Just that I've seen the tropes and stuff coming, because there's some parts of Xenoblade 2 that are wonderful. There's some parts of Xenoblade 2 where the story was tropey, and I was like,
Yeah.
Why did they do that? I mean, Kenoshi knows it. We've said it before, and I'm wrapping up with this. I didn't like how one of the main characters died, even though we know it was going to happen because, of course, how the game's set up. But it was like, I didn't like the way that he died because that was stupid. That was just stupid character building. But some people might say that's a great character building. I say stupid, but it's subjective. I get it. Even because the character warned you 3-4 times, and even the new character came and warned and showed you that you was warned, you still did it. So,
yeah, I mean, Rex is kind of an idiot. He's not a very likable protagonist. You're supposed to like him because he's plucky, but
I'll say this to you. I'll say this not to you really in that regard, but I'm just saying like, at least he is. How should I put it? He said it a couple of times, so he knows he's an idiot. He said it. He acknowledges it. That's what makes it feel okay. He's a lovable character in that regard. He's not playing ignorance. That's what I'm saying. He's not playing the ignorant character. Like, I did what I think was great and blah blah blah. No, I know it was stupid. I know it was dumb. That's what I like about it.
Like I said, I like Rex as a character. I think that I like him. I like him when you're playing as him, but just like some of the choices he makes are like, come on, man. You know.
Yeah, I'll ask one more question, Mailman, and I'm sad for this. You're right, Mailman, and I don't know it. I didn't watch it all the way through when my sister beat this game, and I have not because again, life. I'm different because I'm the head of the family and I got business and everything to run. I have not finished the end of 104 101. I'm very close to that, and I didn't beat it. I got to beat it. I need to beat it. So if the story has changed, then maybe that'll be the fifth story that whatever. And Terrell 83 says the story for Radiant Historia is pretty good too.
Oh yes, it is. Oh yeah, there's a twist in that game where you're like, I did not see that coming.
Okay, well that's a game I also was gonna pick up. So I have no problem with that to check that out. So. And that's good. That's good. If that's the case, I'll be happy. But but I'm saying like, with my 30 plus years of playing games, and I've played close to almost close to 1,000 games now, and I could only list out 4 games that had a big change like that. And as Red just put it, okay, Historia, okay, that's 1, 104, 101, that's 2. So let's move it up to 6. That's kind of oh yes, oh yeah. Dang it. It's sad that I keep on remembering good stuff. Okay. Because you commented on this, Red, and Kenoshi commented on this as well, too. I don't know if Kenoshi, because I'm looking at something else. I don't know. Oh, yeah, Kenoshi's still there. Okay. The thing that I posted about Steam with the games, with the 100%, only 100 games made 50% of the thing. That comment. That thing. I should have put it. I just put it there. I should have put where my comment was. Yes, it's not surprising, as Red as you said, the popular games sold well. That's not what I posted the story for. I posted the story for because it's sad that out of 7,000 games, only 100 pull 50% of the revenue. Meaning there's a lot of other good games that got tacked down because other people are going to follow what the 100 games do.
Yeah, and
that's what my negative was. I understand what you were saying, Red. And I get what you were saying, Kenoshi, but the reason I posted that was because they're just like the eShop. There's a ton of great games on the eShop, but it gets overshadowed. The difference with the Nintendo eShop and Steam is Nintendo and eShop, you could still look and stuff will still pop up and they got sales and everything that you would like. On the Steam, what's popular gets pulled to the forward and you don't see nothing else. And if that's the case, then other developers is going to do exactly what the 100 games did, and they're gonna start getting stagnant, and that's basically why a lot of people are praising the Switch eShop than Steam because they're again Owlboy, Way Forward, Yacht Club Games, the guy who do Super Meat Club, the guys who do God dang, there's a lot of indie games that did superior well on eShop than even on Steam.
Yeah,
so that's what I was saying that for. I was not saying that it was because it's not surprised that the popular games made that much money. I'm surprised at how much they made, because that equals to 0.5%.
Well, the sad thing about Steam is that Steam used to be really good about letting you discover new games that you might not hear about, and then they changed it to give more of an edge to, you know, people who had, you know, lots and lots of money, and it kind of hurt Steam a little bit, in my opinion, because now you have to really hunt to find stuff. And I've noticed it, and that's why I really don't use Steam for a lot of stuff. I use Good Old Games and Humble Bundle, and that way you get more of like, I didn't know this, or Fanatical. It used to be Bundle Stars, and that's called Fanatical. So
okay, no, but that was why I put it to explain. That is why I did the That is why I did the post it, because it's basically locking. Because again, it's just like with the console versions. Everybody, I mean, I don't want it to be shooter as it's been in the last couple, a decade basically. Let's have some different genres out there that's popped off. Again, I remember I saw Clean Prince Game talk about they were talking about 3D platform, and I have a couple of 3D. Again, I know what the Hiding Time guys did. It's a great game. I got it on a PC. I wish they did that shitty. Their PR didn't do that stupidness for the Switch thing. That's dumb. I don't know why would you do that. That was just idiotic.
A genre that became popular because of
Nintendo, and then you're gonna just belittle the fans, just asking a question to come on the system.
Yeah,
that was stupid, man. Cause here's the thing. That's the only place it's gonna sell. It's not gonna sell on Sony and Xbox. But damn, not on Xbox.
They're gonna try. That's what they're gonna try. It might not work, but they're gonna try. And I mean, look. I mean, like, here's the thing. I mean, a lot of companies put games on systems where it's like, really. I mean, look at Square Enix. They're like, yeah, man. Yeah, we're putting Kingdom Hearts on the Xbox One. I'm like, come on, man, that game's gonna die.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what the heck is Kingdom Hearts 1 doing on the? I mean, they might as well just put it on Steam.
That'd probably be smarter.
That'd be smarter, yeah.
Put it on Steam, yeah.
Or port it on the Switch, because they can.
No, because it's made in Unreal 5, and the Switch isn't upgraded. You know what? I'm gonna stop talking shit about Square Enix because they've not been having a good year thus far, and I really want Dragon. I like Dragon Quest so much, and since they will never localize Dragon Quest X to America, I might double dip. I might get Dragon Quest 11 on Steam first, and then get it on the Switch once it comes out later on.
Yeah.
For the Switch, I mean, look, they aren't even bringing forth the 3DS version, and I'm like, I heard the 3DS version was pretty damn good, but whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, like I said, for me, there's a couple of games that I am gonna double dip on when it's coming later on this year, of course. One of them, of course, will be is Okami. The next one will be, which kind of makes sense. They should have been what it is, but again, that's Capcom with their bullshit, so whatever. But I do love the game. I do like what that game represented. I'm gonna do it, and also the game Court of Princess. I'm gonna get a second chance to that. Hopefully, I could beat that. I beat the game. I got $11.99, but the damn challenges is where they're at. That damn double dragon stage is kicking my ass, and not many people are playing it on the 3DS as much as now. So if we get a revival for the online, and it's the only time I will play an online game like this, so I could beat them damn double dragons, because I maxed out my character Ali. I'm at 99 and I still can't beat it because they don't get stunned. That's the part I don't like. The dragons don't get stunned. So even though I'm using my most profound combo, I can't stun them. So it's just like, damn it. So, but yes, I am. There's a couple games like that's gonna be that I'm gonna double get and everything else too. But but Red explained it well with the Steam thing, and that's just what it is. It just some of these games is just that's the reason I posted that on Google Plus, because it's like 0.5% of the games made 50% of the profit.
Yeah, that's my that was kind of my problem. I just felt the whole thing a little squishy.
Yeah.
Like, who's actually making the money? Steam actually making the money? These companies.
Well, Steam making the money. That's why they don't want to do no Half-Life 3. That's
Steam's
like,
gonna get their cut.
yeah.
Because I mean, here's the thing: Steam doesn't care what's making the money. As long as they get their cut, they're happy. That's not the problem. The problem is that there's some really good games that, like, if Steam just said, look, we're going to create Steam, I don't know, the Steam Underground, where we have the games that aren't, you know, the most popular, but they're quality games. They have good scores. They just aren't selling gangbusters, where people can look at that. I mean, if they were smart, they'd do that so that, like, other shit, they'd have a bigger market of high-selling stuff, is what I'm saying. But I mean, they don't care about that. I mean, Valve does things where it's like you can see where their priorities are. Like if they cared about the Steam box, there would be a Steam box. Because if anyone has the money to get into the hardware market, it's Valve. But they don't care. So
yeah,
which is sad because I really do think there needs to be another. You know, kind of a there needs to be more consoles in the market that do different things because I mean Microsoft and Sony basically have the same console aside from a few exclusives. So and Nintendo does something different, but we need someone else bringing something different to the table. And I think Valve could have done it with the Steam Box, but they didn't want to pull the trigger on it. They want to swim in the shallow end and get a gold medal for being Olympic swimmers.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, they wanted to for everybody else to pick up the cost and take the risk. It's just like, oh, we'll create this the Steam OS and the Steam controller.
We have the marketplace, but I mean, you're gonna have to. If they wanted the Valve box to be successful, all they had to do was say, "Hey, we're making a Portal 3 and a Half-Life 3," and that would have been the end of it. And it's going to be exclusive to the Valve box for the first year. Done. Yeah. But they didn't. You know, they don't care. So.
Oh well, like I said, we'll see this. But like I said, I want to thank you, Alex, for joining in, and
no problem.
Again, hopefully you could check out the other videos and stuff like that, and you know. I'll ask this question because you just joined in. Which part of the country you are? You ain't gotta tell us. You can say state if you want to, but just the state, just to. So is the timing? Michigan.
Yep.
Okay. No, because the reason I said because of the timing. Like sometimes we have people from California, sometimes we have people from like the last one-on-one I did was a guy from Hawaii. So it's a time zone thing. So when I do the podcast, now this is a random talk. Like I said. I mostly put this up. We talk about random subjects because you just went through that. Sometimes we do an end cast where we have specific, topics that we hit on or whatever, and we do about it. But again, you could check out. Kenoshi has a channel. Red Fox has a channel that you could check out their content and stuff as well too. Again, we talk about all kind of stuff. But again, thank you for that.
He's gonna be our new member for the PS Busters.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, again, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining in on that kind of and that stuff. And yeah, I'll watch your stuff if you join the BS Buster with Mr. Red Fox. I will watch your stuff on there because I watch the BS Buster with Red Fox. I can't join on because most of the time I've been doing. Like I said, I got a new radio show and I got a new business, and I'm just
handle business first.
Play comes later. Money comes first. Play comes later. But other than that, though, like I said, that's what I'm saying. I did this tonight because it was random. It's like, you know what? I did a random cast, and technically it was last year I did one. That was it. It was a long time I did one. So I said, you know what? Who's up for random talk tonight? Let's talk about what's going on in gaming. And again, we went into Pepsi, Coke, and all kind of stuff. So hell, it's just crazy what's going on with that. But thank you for joining in, Alex. Of course, anybody who's watching, of course, you could go to Mr. Red Fox to watch his BS Busters, and he has now the sci-fi on Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturdays at 7:30 to 8:30 Sci-Fi Power Hour ish. Sometimes it's less than an hour, sometimes it's more. But BS Busters almost every single week. Sunday, 7:30 to 9.
And basically you've been releasing some new, like your smaller stuff like you've been doing lately.
Yeah, some new videos when things catch my attention. I'm like, I gotta talk about it. And I do a little 10, 15-minute video. Nothing too
so check out that. I also seen Dr. Feelgood as well and started putting back videos up as well too. He also took a break. And he started doing his video prescriptions. That's what he's called it. I forgot. Yeah, his video prescriptions. So shout out to Dr. Feelgood. I know he's chilling with his wife and stuff, so he didn't make it in, and whatever. And I know other people have been busy, of course. But hey, it's been a long time since we did a random talk, and of course I always shout out the people, the people in the chat, and I don't see no more questions. Well, okay, Sprite. I'll talk to you about that later on, because I know that one is all about. So, but yeah, I thank everybody out there for joining us on the chat. And that's one thing I do like when I do the random cast or end cast or anything I do. Sometimes I'm surprised, even though when I don't do that much content, I get a lot of people who've used it. We went up to basically about 22 in one time, and now it's back to 12. Like, I'm happy that you guys see, because I've seen people who have way more views than me. Like one of the guys I know has 2,000K, but when he does podcasts and they're very interesting, but he gets about 6 people watching. He's like, but I get more than that. So I think so for me, I thank you guys for watching. I'm not gonna deny it. So Sprite, RE73, Yao, Ying Yao, of course, Wiser 20, Metal Mint, Torelli 3. I think that's about Jack Gates. Thank you all for your time, of course. I hope you guys have a good day. Get some sleep. Tomorrow's work day. And again, check out Mr. Red Fox channel, Kenoshi's channel as well too. I think Raphael, you have what you do discuss.
Well, I know that recently I just posted a new article where I analyze how Breath of the Wild how it will affect the current Zelda cast in Super Smash Brothers for Switch.
Okay. All right, and then go ahead.
And how I mentioned that Ganondorf may be at risk of getting cut since he's absent in Breath of the Wild, but not his alter ego Calamity Ganon, who is
but you think of Smash, I doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, there's not going to be a Calamity Ganon in Smash. maybe as a stage hazard. But not as like a playable character.
You're right. I can see that. I can see what you just said right there. I can see that. You can see that. Yeah. But again, I know Raphael basically does a lot of stuff like this. And Metal Man, seriously, you had to do that. You just once in a while we do get trolled in the daggone chat. Metal Man said, "Don't drink the orange juice."
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's funny. And also I've seen, which I wanted to get in. I don't know if you got in, Red. I didn't watch the podcast because I know how Shadow is. Shadow also is starting to put back videos on his channel too.
Yeah, I watched two of them.
I was like 8, and it was like, when is it gonna happen? That's what I put in there, and then I ain't got a response to like, that's great. I'm gonna sleep. I'm sorry, Shadow. You like to I like to know what it is. I'll say, oh boss, you know what? I wouldn't even mind that. I would enjoy that. Because for me, I could speculate. I'm not a Smash head like other people are when it comes to Smash Brothers. For me, when it comes to a lot of games, I just want a game to come out. I don't care. Let the game come out, then I'll make my thing. Right now, I'm not whatever it is. But I'll put in Uabosa for Smash. Hey, she can cast in Breath of the Wild and the cutscene. I like that. That was one of the baddest cutscenes in that game.
Let me put it this way: I just want a story mode. That's all I want.
I got
a single player story mode. That's all I want. Like they've nailed the online gameplay and the multiplayer aspects. They need to, go after they've shored that up. They need to go after their weak spot, which in the last game was the story.
Single player mode. Yeah, so let's see what happened. They'll show off something, of course, for E3, and that's right around the corner. But again, check out the videos. What?
Though there is a chance that we might get a Smash Direct before E3 because the Smash Invitational, it will be really weird to invite people before even knowing how the gameplay is compared to the last Smash title.
Not really, because they did it with the Wii U one.
Well, the Wii U, they showed the gameplay before the Smash Invitational.
You don't know how he played. You just looked at the video. You didn't know how he played.
But like the gameplay, like the mechanics changes.
You didn't know that. You just saw it. You didn't know that, like how Samus feels compared to Brawl. You did not know that. You just know, oh well, here's the game. Let me go play. You saw it, but you didn't know. It's like seeing it, but you don't know how it feels. Just like I see Xenoblade Chronicle 2, and we can't compare it to Xenoblade Chronicles X or Xenoblade 1. You see it, but I ain't played to know understand the driver combo or the blade combo and all that.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, I think like I said, I think that Smash Brothers has pretty much they've gotten the multiplayer and the online down. Now they need to they've refined that. Now they need to go after what were we weak in last time? And I mean, to me, the glaring weakness of Smash
was the single player.
Was the single player. Everything else, like online multiplayer, that's great. The single player sucks, though. I mean, it's not very good.
Don't all single players in fighting games stink, though?
No. Mortal Kombat, the 6th gen Mortal Kombat games had great single players. Killer Instinct, the reboot for Killer Instinct has a pretty good single player. Mortal Kombat 9 had a good single player. Like,
they're different games that I would say that, and then single player content, I would say.
But Street Fighter 5 and Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, they have pretty bad single.
Well, that's them. Yeah, but Capcom's always had shitty single player games.
Not really.
For their 2D side scrolling fighters, the single player.
Okay, because Power Stone wasn't that bad. I like Power Stone.
Okay, but Power Stone, it wasn't a 2D fighter. Power Stone was like almost a precursor to Smash Brothers, wasn't it?
No, it came after.
It came out the same year, I think.
Well, it was like an arena brawler and had kind of a story to it and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, by and large, like Street Fighter didn't really have the single player is just you go from location to location to location, fighting people on various locations that most of them aren't streets. And some of these people are fighters. Some of these people are gods. Like this dude can teleport and shoot fireballs. Come on, man. I mean, like. You have alternates that do have good stories. Like I said, Mortal Kombat, the 6th gen Mortal Kombat games had good stories. Mortal Kombat 9 has a good story. Tatsunoko versus Capcom actually had a pretty interesting story.
Well, I mean, I would say, Rival Schools had a project had that as well too. And also, I liked there's a game. One of my favorite games on the 64, Flying Dragon.
Oh yeah.
That was big. I wish more fighting game. Like I said, I ain't gonna say wish there were. I wish there were more of it. Now I ain't wish all of them could be, but that was an RPG / fighting game. That's what I liked about that thing. You go equip things. You were trying to get the shinies before the shinies became a thing.
And then you have Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
Soul Calibur 2 during that game has even the first Soul Calibur with the Soul Edge, with the Soul Master single player, those games, I mean, it wasn't until Soul Calibur 4 that the single player in Soul Calibur started going down the tubes. But really, I mean, like, I'm like, look, you've gotten everything else is like an A, A plus, A, solid A, solid, well done presentation. The thing that they're lacking in is the single player. But I mean, Brawl had a really good single player.
That's debatable because when it first came out, people criticized Brawl's Subspace Emissary.
Okay, let me ask something.
Yeah.
Does it look like I care what other people think about
That's true.
The single player experience?
You should get that by now, Raphael. Again, Brawl single player was good. It was from Melee, and I liked it. It showed a difference. I mean, I would be like I said when I first played the game. It took me a while to get used to the whole, it's a jumping. It took me a while, but I got into it and I liked it, and I liked the way that it. I like the way it went through. So
I'm not saying that the single player was perfect.
And again, we know and Red knows it because he hates it, but we know the same people who criticize are the one who bitched and moaned And that's what we got the daggone Wii U. Wait. And that's what we got the Wii U version in the fucked up place.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like Brawl's single player wasn't perfect, but the reason I say that Smash Brothers needs a single player is because you're not always going to be playing online. You're not always going to be playing the multiplayer tournaments. You need something else to do besides just, standard, classic mode where you go from stage to stage. Oh, it's hidden targets. Oh, let me go through this race. Let me race these bombs. Like, you need something else besides just the normal thing. Like, you have to expand on things. You can't have the same thing over and over and over again. So that's why I'm saying in Subspace Emissary, whether you like it or not, had a lot of variety to it. Had a lot of different things.
And you basically you basically get a chance to play through all the characters so you understand the mechanics of the characters itself, which I did like that.
Yeah, and I thought that was kind of cool. Now, and plus it was kind of like an extended tutorial because you got used to playing as every single character. You got used to playing as Zero Suit Samus. You got used to playing as the Pokemon Master. You got used to playing as Pikachu and Mr. Game & Watch and heavier characters and Luke and Lucas and Ness. Like, you got used to playing as different characters in different situations. And that's really, really, it was a really well-made kind of got you used to playing as different characters and stuff like that, different battle styles. And then we went from that to the single player in Wii U Smash 4, which was,
yeah, I got you.
Embarrassing. I know Sakurai kind of did it as a troll move, but that's fucking embarrassing.
Yep.
To me, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, I got you. No, I got you. So,
but now that Nintendo's more strict on taking down videos of their games,
that's not. I told you already. That was not the reason. People.
That's the reason he said, but that's not
the reason he really meant he did it.
No, can I continue? But now that Nintendo's becoming more strict on taking down gameplay videos of their own games, now there may be a chance for a story mode for the Switch game.
I got you, but that was not the reason why he did it. I told you that.
Yeah, that's the reason he said. That's not the reason he said. That's not the reason.
He did it. He did it because people were bitching too damn much
and complaining. Complaining.
So he trolled. He trolled. As Red said, it was a bad troll, but he trolled because again, if you've been listening to me for a while, Raphael, again, I said it with Pierce Snyder. When go back, you can go back and listen if you want to listen to MVC. When Smash got released, listen to the podcast of MVC before Smash got released. Pierce Snyder said, "Oh, I don't want Brawl. The open specialty was clunky, was blah blah blah, was stupid, blah blah blah." Then the week after, the next podcast after Smash got released, he's like, "Oh, I wish I had the Subspace Enemy." I'm like, "Motherfucker, seriously, make up your goddamn mind."
See, here's the thing. Okay,
and he is an influential person in the gaming industry.
And the people who said that they didn't want Subspace Emissary, I don't like it. It's like, I hate to say this, people who don't understand this about Sakurai, he recycles his old shit all the time. Subspace Emissary is essentially Kirby Superstar's Milky Way wishes. Okay.
Or the one I forgot was on Ultra Star, the one with the dungeon. Probably name it.
It's Great Cave Offense.
It's the Great Cave Offensive crossing Milky Way wishes.
That's
what it is. Okay. Yeah. And look, I love Kirby Superstar. It's like my favorite Kirby game. So shit like that, going into different rooms, finding shit, discovering shit, finding secrets,
and adding the Smash style to it. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I love shit like that. I was like, I wish I had another one. We didn't get it. We got the piss poor single player for Smash Wii U. Hey, it's Smash. I knew it was a troll. It's Smash Run. Man, fuck you. That's what.
And we also got the tourney band Great Cave Offensive stage.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't. The next Smash Brothers needs two things. First of all, those shitty Namco Bandai prices for the DLC. Fuck that. Just charge me $30 for a season pass. Okay. I'll give you the money. Just don't nickel and dime me with that shit. Number two, a decent single player. Please, for the love of God. Just, please. Just,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
And I'd be okay with that. Hell, you can even have the Return of Taboo. That'd be interesting. Because he friggin' destroys the Smash world in
but isn't he dead now?
Who?
He may be dead, but he destroys the Smash world. He took almost everyone's universe and created little and tore them into pieces and to create his own weird, warped, weird universe. They didn't fix that at the end of Brawl. It still exists.
Yeah, but like I said, but we'll see what happens. Again, like I said, my thing is this: what I wait until the stuff going on, because me and Triple was we saw something that we predicted. Not even predicted. We saw it. I said it. That I told Triple M about it, and it happened today. It happened to a T. Our prediction came out 100%, 1,000% correct.
What happened? Huh? What happened that you predicted?
We was talking about, it was a YouTuber. It was a YouTuber that YouTuber would rise again, which is a pattern that I figured out. But also coming to talk about games, which is weird, and the way I'm saying things like look, because they were talking about the whole people getting some people said, oh well, Wolfenstein looks bad and blah. The game ain't gonna come out until November of later this year. How about we just wait until the game comes out, then trash it if you want to trash it. Don't, and then because you got the other people like, well, because the Switch is weak. I'm like, what? Y'all still doing that same dumbass argument?
And who cares? Like, here's the thing. Like, at this point, games that have been ported to the Switch, no one cares. As long as they can play, as long as the game runs well, and they can play it on the go, they don't care. They really don't care.
But people just making these arguments and stuff like that. So it's just like, you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. But again, like I said, it went a little too long, going up the close of things. So I will again check these guys out, Mr. Red's Podcast, BS Busters, and Sci-Fi Power Hour. Of course, you can check out Kenoshi and he has his channel. And again, thank you, Alex, for joining us. Hopefully next time you could add more words. I know it's new, like you just said, it's new. Hey, it takes a while to get used to it. Yes.
I have one question.
Yes.
How did Killer Instinct, the reboot, get a T rating?
Oh, because of the animated blood.
Well, no, because the blood isn't red by and large. It's like, you know,
so I'm like watching. I'm watching I'm playing the game right now. I'm watching the game. I'm watching like all this blood being spurred out. I'm like, shouldn't this game be rated M?
Yeah, but is the blood red? Is the blood red?
Yeah, it is red. It is red.
You know what? I wouldn't say that because there are some games that I thought that would have had some mature content and stuff that also got teased as well.
Yeah, and you also have to realize that in America, like, violence gets a pass for a lot of stuff. Like stuff that's really ultra violent. Well, it's not that bad. It's violent. You know, it's sexuality that gets the M rating.
Yeah, because because I think. No, give me a second. I can't see it from here, but I think I know what specifically game I could look up right now, and I think it has a T rating than an M. But you know what? Now I'll do it later on. But yeah, there are some games that I know that has shoot 'em up and shooty bang bang, and you got blood and whatever, and you got a T rating. So I'm not surprised because like I think that was Conduit 2. You had this on the week. That also had you cutting people, dude. You cutting aliens and stuff, and that had a T. So
but they're aliens, so it doesn't count.
Well, hey, I understand, but it is blood, it's gore.
Yeah,
you see people, you seen that stuff, but we'll look at it. We'll see what it is. It depends on what's going on and how it works out. And if they have a T, then I think what Red said and what Raphael said make kind of make more of a sense than that.
Yeah, it just depends on. I mean, they're games that are more censored in Japan than they are here, and they're games that are more censored here than they are in Japan. So it's like, or the rest of the world. Like, I mean, like people are bitching about Wolfenstein, and like, I think just with the first Wolfenstein was the first time you had a Wolfenstein in Germany where you were actually shooting Nazis. Like that was the first one where you were actually shooting Nazis because Germany. So I mean, it is what it is.
And don't get what we talked about yesterday's Sci-Fi podcast, the news about this one anime game that's getting its face-touching minigame removed for the U.S. version.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, man. Pervin after a lowly. That's just. I mean, there's a lot of things I can kind of see it from other people's view, but I don't care. It's my culture. Pervin after little girls? Ew.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get lolicon at all.
Screw this, I'm going to go to Japan. Well, good luck dealing with their immigration standards.
Look, let me put it this way. Let's go talk to that dude who made Rurouni Kenshin Pervin after little girls. Yeah. And they threw his ass in jail, so don't tell me it's a culture thing. Although they should have known something was wrong. A 40-something-year-old man trying to dress like he's in his 20s. I'm like, dude, you're 40-something years old. Wear your dad clothes.
Yeah. Who wants to bet that Senran Kagura's creator gets
well, the thing is,
as well.
The funny thing is, I've talked to a guy who claims to have been to Japan. I don't know if I believe him or not, but he says a lot of the weird nonsense that you Americans and Westerners talk about, it's overblown. Japan's actually not that weird. And I talked to people like Liger who have been to Japan. I'm just kind of, and he tells me differently. It's like, oh no, it's kind of that strange.
Well, I mean, it's a different culture, and some things that are normal for them is not necessarily normal for us. What I will say about the Japanese that I've noticed, especially in people in my age group that are over there, just like Westerners, not Japanese, but Westerners, is that you'll see someone in like 31, 32, 33, 34 wearing a haircut. It's like, you're too goddamn old to have your hair like that. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like, like you're trying too hard to be hip and cool.
Well, sorry, I just came back. I did went to the collection, and Conduit 1 and 2 was teen. Yeah. And there are some games, of course, that are just have because of the words they're saying are mature, but they don't have no violence in it. So it's complex. It's complex. Saying that, because I'm looking at this anime game that I have, it is not sexual. They don't have no sexual, nothing as the usual, trying to be the whole perv or whatever thing. But because the story is mature and they don't show the killing, it's a story-based game. It has a rated story-based game. It's a rated M. So
yeah. I mean, their game. I mean, it depends on where you're from. Like, I have those trauma team games. Atlas, another trauma team game.
I know, right? We would work with it. Yeah, it would work. It would work with and it would work good with. Oh man, it would work good with the Wii U. But now it would work good with the Switch.
HD Rumble.
The HD Rumble one, and also you still have a touch screen, so you could do multiple stuff with the Joy-Cons and the touch screen.
Yeah, and I mean, just give us another trauma team. Come on, man. I want to be a doctor and save people from sin. It's the evil disease that morphs into anything that you have to fight in trauma team. Anyway, I want to play another trauma team because it's a friggin' awesome franchise. But I mean, I think that people should. I think America needs to revamp how it rates games. The ESRB needs to revamp how it rates games, because just because a game is violent doesn't necessarily mean it should be rated.
I think. Well, let's put it across the board, because Peggy needs to revamp their zone too.
Yeah.
Peggy,
I mean,
is
I think it's because, I mean, like, there's things that are ultra violent, but because they use green blood instead of red blood, they're like, oh, it's T for teen. I mean, and then there are games that have mature content, but maybe present it in more of a cartoonish aesthetic, that they're like, well, it's not that bad. So
all goes like this story, because there's some stories that we know is just for fun, it's little fun, and it's just fun. It's not like mature, whatever, but the Peggy, like, including in Australia, the Peggy board in Australia, they call it a mature content. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like, because I heard about that game. They were like, well, it's kind of like you can date like 14, 15-year-old girls. I'm like,
not that. No. I'm not talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. There's some there. Okay, it's just like we do with the whole. We know that like Suda 51's game, like No More Heroes is a different. You got a different rating in Japan, and how you got a different rating in America.
Yeah.
It's just weird how that works out and how they censor the game in that. You got a different rating and it got censored differently.
Yeah.
Censored differently. We get the blood to go and all the stuff Japan didn't.
But I mean, his games, I mean, has so many sex references in it. It's like you need an urban dictionary to look up all those.
I get that. Here's what I'm trying to say. I get that, and I'm not arguing against that. I'm saying that we didn't have in the Japan version. You didn't see the blood. You didn't see the decapitations and stuff like we saw in the West.
Oh yeah.
I think the West got it right with it's a mature game. It has mature only on the game. I have the game right here. It is mature, but Japan is censor it down. It has the sexual innuendos. It didn't really go straight out sexual intent. You know that. I know you play the game, Red.
Yeah.
So, but they also still got they censor it way down and still got the mature tag in Japan.
Yeah, but Japan's weird like that. Like, I mean, when you were gone, I said that like there are games in Japan where it's like the more complete version of certain games you get here in America. Versus Japan, like, and vice versa.
Yeah. So, my point is what I was saying. I think the system just need a revamp all the way across the board. That's my point.
Yeah. They
across the board so everybody could. I mean, again, I know culturally we're different. I get that point. So yeah, it'll be changing, but there are some games I think that should be catered and still be a revamp. Will do best because again, remember the ESRB started back in the 90s and. It took a long way to catch up with things, and then when he started to catch up with things, new things got new games, new ideas and stuff got thrown in there, and they didn't fit the normal narrative and category as it would normally fit.
Well, society has changed. Like I remember
that's a better example of that. Yeah,
people were like, "Well, Night Trap, it's scandalous." I've played Night Trap. That game, I mean, it's bad, but the situations in it aren't that. It's like, oh my god, this is totally scandalous. And not really. No, it's kind of stupid, but
yeah,
I mean, it's not, Corey Haim and Dana Plato I'm telling you something, Night Trap should be called the Nightmare Game because people that were in that are dead now. That's not good, but I mean, it's not a terrible game.
Yeah. So with that, but like I said, I hope that answers enough for your question, Kenoshi. It's a conundrum. It's not a straight answer. It's just a conundrum. So again, like I said, check out Kenoshi's podcast, Red's podcast. You can check. Like I said, Alex says he's going to join that. So, and of course, you always catch Raphael over there. So, and also Jewel also be there with Red and Triple M sometimes if he's feeling well. Because he tagged me, said that he might join in if he feels well, and it looked like he wasn't feeling well. So I said, hey, dude, relax. Out of anybody here, you should relax with what you're going through. Calm down, relax, chill. Take care of yourself because you just went through a couple surgeries and stuff. Relax. You're good. So other than that, wish you all the best out there. Enjoy your games. I hope you guys have a wonderful new week. And I think what God was supposed to be coming out this week, right? For PlayStation.
Not sure about this.
What, God of War?
Yeah, we're getting 10s and 9s and 15s out of 10s. And
stop being a smart ass, okay? Anyway, I think if God of War will come out next week, I hope you guys pick it up and enjoy it. Like I said, it's sad that Sony exclusive doesn't sell super well. But again, if it's a good game and I got no problem with it, go ahead. Because again, even though, when I played Horizon Zero Dawn, it was a disservice to the game. I like the game. I enjoy the game. The only reason I say that disservice to the game, I played the Breath of the Wild first, and that tainted my view too much.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest to it. It not only tainted my view too much, is that I go through so much stuff in Zelda Breath of the Wild that when I try to play that game, and it's also the same kind of outworldly games, like I wish I could climb here. I wish I didn't have this stupid wall here. Why the hell I can't creep around here? That's stupid. it just made me aggravated because I played Breath of the Wild first. But my point of,
once you play Breath of the Wild, you won't be able to play open worlds the same way again.
Yeah, it totally messes up how you play open world games. It's like, you tell me I can't just, and just games that have like a food system. You mean to tell me the food I eat doesn't really have that much of effect?
Well, it's not even that. When I first played Xenoblade 2, I was like, man, and you see where there's a new area I could get. I can't climb it. It's just like 4 little crates I could just climb. Come on. I'm like,
exactly.
It's so annoying.
I can't definitely annoying.
Oh my God. The climbing anywhere, that's one. And it's and the gliding. And I could glide anywhere too if I go high and glide like that. That changes it.
I was talking with someone. I was like, look, horses in Breath of the Wild are almost useless because when you can glide, it's like, why do I need like a horse that can't cross a stream, can't swim, can die when I just climb this mountain, jump down, and go as far as I want to? I can even I can slow-mo, shoot a fire arrow or a bomb arrow on some grass, create a thermal, and fly back up and keep on going. Like, what? A horse is useless.
Well, I mean, like I said, that's the one thing nobody's going to give. And the sad thing about gamers don't get, except for people who play the game, and it's sad. The industry has, because I remember I talked about that podcast with those like Ken Levine and all those guys we're talking about how Breath of the Wild, the physics engine is one of the most amazing things they ever seen. I wish a lot of people, would say, it was just Zelda. No. Okay, you can say it's just Zelda, but that engine is spectacular.
Oh, yeah.
The engine is par none. I don't see nobody has that physics engine. I'm sorry.
It's a technological feat of what they're capable of, what they're able to do with that engine.
Yes.
The thing about Breath of the Wild is, like for Liger and probably so many people here and in the audience, it's ruined RPGs for me. It's just like
it has, but it's like look what Red was just saying right there. I could glide down, shoot a bomb, create his own thermal. I could light a fire and use the Deku leaf to fan the fire a certain way, and which I've done that to do with certain enemies. I could do the octo balloons and use Deku leaf to fly in the, like the physics is ridiculous in this game. Or get out a magnet ball, do kinetic, hit it with status, hit it and fly off.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said. Breath of the Wild is a physics masterpiece, and yet I'm like, man, there's so many other things that they can add going forward. I'm looking forward to the next Legend of Zelda game. I hope that it has fishing. I'm still talking about that. I hope it has fishing, and I hope the fishing has HD Rumble because that's going to be friggin' awesome.
But like I said, like I said, even those guys, when I listen to veteran Western developers, he had one guy from the East, but he had Western developers saying, did this thing had crazy? I mean, all of them play the game. They're like, man, I don't know how Nintendo did this without the glitches and stuff that we get. And it was self-deprecating, and they were saying that we were getting our games. It's like, this is a kind of podcast a lot of people need to see. One, these so-called gamers and gamers journalists who talk all this crap, to see that these are people. It's like an artist. It's like me being a musician. I saw somebody create music, and I'm like, wow, I am at awe of what this guy did with that guitar or that drum or whatever, because it's amazing. The people who are hearing it or whatever don't understand it, but we get it on the making creative level of like, damn, how this is ridiculous. So it is one of those games that, like, and again, when I play that game, every time I play that game, even though it's a year later, even though I play the game, I still find new ways to mess with the physics. I really do.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said. I mean, I like the Legend of Zelda games not just because I like them, but I like how the franchise reinvents and refines the formulas as time goes on. and I'm looking forward to see where it goes next.
Yeah, I'm just like it's just like we were saying that it's just that this is something they did a masterpiece. I hope they do something like that in the future. But again, it's just like the physics engine is just like what Mario 3D World, what Mario 3D World did for 3D. I mean, Super 64 did for 3D. Sorry, what 64 did for 3D. It was that game changing to me, and a lot of developers said it themselves too. So that's why it's a big thing. So again, thank you guys for joining in. Hope you, and basically, Sprite said, with all the power, which is a caveat. I wouldn't want to do it, but Sprite said, like, yeah, it was on a weaker console, and also the AI was pretty good in that game as well, too. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it is what it is. But again, we're finishing it now. It's 12 o'clock. Y'all go get some sleep. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, get some sleep tomorrow. Hope your week is a good week, and hope to get some good games again. There's not major big games coming out for the Switch next week, but check out the eShop.
Well, there's one more quick thing I want to say, and Nintendo Nintendo proves that they have even the most reliable hardware when you're using it for other platforms. For example, I'm using the Switch controller to play PC games, and it's fan-freaking-tastic.
Well, yeah, I've used the Wii. That's why I'm using the Wii. That's why I'm using the Wii U controller for my Switch as a second controller. I'm not using. I bought one Switch Pro controller, and I have me a Wii. I use my old Wii U Pro controller for my Switch as a second player. Me and my sister does it for Fire Emblem Warriors. We did it for Fire Emblem Warriors. We did it for that beat 'em up game, Phantom Break. We've done that. And also, that because what Konoshi said, I use the remote nunchuck when I'm playing PC games like Doom and all the shooter games. I use my nunchuck. I found another adapter, and I found an adapter, and I use my nunchuck remote because I can't go. Once Nintendo introduced that nunchuck remote for shooters for me,
you can't go back.
I can't go back.
Normal controller. I kind of grew up on mouse and keyboard, so like I can alternate between the two. But for Nintendo games, you can't go back to controller for first-person shooters on a Nintendo system after the Wii. You can't. You need the Joy.
Well, and I evolved more than that with you. Like I said, I understand. I never really got into the mouse and keyboard too much. I can play, but I'm not that whatever. And of course, twin sticks, forget about it. I don't like it. But I have found, like I said, I found an adapter, and I put the adapter in my videos before. You can go check it out. And I use it for my PC. And I played Doom on there. I'm playing Titanfall. I played Titanfall 2 with that. Oh man, that's just good. That's all I can tell you. But other than that, guys, I wish y'all a good night. Catch y'all later. Peace out, and catch you in the next podcast or Random Talks. Peace.